Hello everyone, it's Happy Tuesday everyone, and it is the Monaco Grand Prix for the third and final time here tonight. Oh gosh, let me turn myself down or off. Gosh, oh my god, that's terrible. How can you listen to me? Hello, so yes, we are here for the Monaco Grand Prix, the third and final time here tonight, and I gotta say I'm quite disappointed we're leaving Monaco because it's been absolutely fantastic so far. We've had two absolutely splendid races, and I gotta say last night's race was absolutely cracking stuff, wasn't it? It's great to see Mark Smello dominating from pole position to checkered flag. He was in a league of his own, wasn't he? Absolutely destroying the opposition. And are we going to see something like that again here tonight? Well, I kind of hope so, because I love seeing a new winner on the top step of the podium, and Mark Smello has really raised the bar, hasn't he, after last night? It's fantastic, it really was that. And we are now just getting ready to get started here in Monaco there as well. But before we do, let's quickly go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Velocity, for the first time in his ALR career, won a race last night. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yes, not the fact he won a race, but the fact that was his first race. I'm absolutely taken back by that. But yeah, Velocity, his first race win. He's extended his lead over Farf by 10 points in the driver's standings. Then Energetics is third at the moment. Then he is displays Mike, who's dropped down to fourth, unfortunately, but the gap is only 4 points separating those two drivers. Ayrton, a fantastic start to the season so far. He is 26 points behind the top four, but he has had a great start. Remember, this time last season he only had 1 point. Well, this so far he's 26 points better off. Curly Red has been on absolutely fine Vettel in the last couple of races, and he is in 6th position, on 3 positions higher than where he was before the Spanish Grand Prix. Newman was showing some incredible drive and determination in Spain, and I'm looking forward to seeing if he can do exactly the same again here tonight as well. A completely different circuit, of course. This is, Spain's more of a permanent circuit, isn't it? Well, this one is definitely not permanent by any stretch of the imagination. Rembo dropping down to 8th, unfortunately, but she missed last time. Lagort returned to action, didn't he? Unfortunately, though, his race didn't end too savoury, did it? As he was unfortunately went to the side of Nunda as well. And was it? Yeah, it was Nunda, wasn't it? And Nunda is currently in 10th position in the Williams as well. In the constructor standings, this is how this is what the state of play is. It is currently Mercedes who are it's Williams Mercedes who are currently 20 points out in front of Renault, who is McLaren Renault who are second, and Renault are in third position with Alfa Romeo fourth, Haas in 5th position, AlphaTauri and Ferrari swap positions. We'll talk about Ferrari in just a jiffy. Mercedes is in 8th position with Racing Point 9th, and Red Bull in 10th position. And if it sounds like I've got something in my mouth, it's because I've got a big old ulcer, and it's really annoying me when I've been chewing on it all day, and now it's grown to the size of a golf ball. So yeah, I'm going to be sucking on that all night, ain't I? Yeah, let's quickly take a look at the comments, shall we? I've got to say, I'm quite happy with that. I was in there like swimwear tonight. Goodness me, brilliant stuff indeed. Then, of course, last time in qualifying, we had Nunda take pole position in a fantastic qualifying session. It was brilliant last time, wasn't it? I got to say that was my favourite qualifying session of the season so far. That's for sure. It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was a wet, dry session. We haven't had no wet weather so far in the in ALR Monaco, but if I just jinxed it, and then if I have, then of course the drivers are gonna absolutely give me a good old lashing. Sam has said, hello Sean, how's you, beautiful? I am not too bad. How are you, my good man? I hope you're having a lovely day. Parabolica Racing League, damn it, it's his wrong account, but he said, hey, hello, I hope you're alright there, Mike. We have got Nuna saying, I'm good, thanks for asking. I figured Nuna there just replying to Sam when he said, hey, beautiful. Mike is now on the right account as well. As Sam is asking, is bronze going to be exciting? Well, it normally is. It's going to be fantastic. Ayrton saying, hello Sean, hope we have a great race tonight. And well, we hope we get a great race tonight as well. So there's been some gremlins going into the session, which is why we're 3 minutes late so far. But that's all good. That's all gravy, isn't it? Really is good stuff indeed. Then Becca Jones said, evening as well. We've also got Gordo saying, not going to lie, I secretly hope it rains. Just so I mentioned that as well. We have had a lot of wet races over the years in Monaco, haven't we? And a lot of them have been absolutely spectacular races as well. First one that comes to mind there at the most amazing wet race in Monaco, 2008, of course. I've been a big old Hamilton fanboy. I love that race. I think it was the last race that rained in Monaco. No, it isn't. My goodness me, I am telling a lie. It was of course Monaco 2016 when the Mercedes had an audacious strategy, didn't they? Where they didn't go into the intermediate tyres, did they? Started on the full wets and then jumped straight to the slick tyres, whilst Red Bull went on the the intermediate tyres, but unfortunately they didn't have the tyres ready for Danny Rick, did they? And that really cost him the race win that year. That was a big blow. But yeah, going back to 2008, that was a cracking race. I love that race. Hamilton hit the wall, got a puncture there, but that really helped him out in the long run, didn't it? It was a cracker race. I really enjoyed the Monaco race. 2008 was good. The races before that, then, I think the last wet race before that was actually 97, wasn't it? Barry, Kello, and Stewart. Stewart got their first podium of their careers, didn't they? In that rain-affected race, it was an incredible race, wasn't it? Of course, the championship favourites of the Williams team started on slick tyres. That didn't do too well, did it? And both McLarens were out on the spot, I think, after only a few laps as well. And Schumacher was using definitely living up to his moniker. The Rainmaster was absolutely dominant, wasn't he? That was a absolutely incredible performance. And 96, of course, who can forget that race? I think that's my favourite race of all time, or one of them. There, we only had 3 cars across the line. I think 4 cars were classified in the end. It was a cracking race. It really was. Olivier Panis winning his one and only race there, and it was very good. And I think that was Ligier's last race win as well, wasn't it? Before they became the Prost-Mugen Honda in 1997 then. Becca saying you're on your own with that one. I've said that's in terms of the wet weather there. We've also got some predictions for pole position, and that's a very interesting tale, isn't it? Let's quickly take a look and see pole position so far. We've had Energetics in Australia, Total P's in Bahrain, China we've had Farf, in Netherlands, the Dutch Grand Prix we had Troy, and then we had Nunda. So we've had 5 different pole sitters there in the first 5 races, haven't we? So it's anyone's guess, isn't it? Is anyone going to take the initiative and get a second pole position here tonight? But yeah, pole position has been absolute lottery so far this season. And in terms of race wins as well, we've only had one driver who has actually won 2 races this season. That was Mike. He won in Australia. Then he got the strategy absolutely to perfection in the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, where he won his second race as well. So Mike is definitely very much on the ascendancy, but it's either win or broke for Mike at the moment. Can he find the middle ground there and really cause and really get himself in the championship hunt? That'll be very interesting indeed then. So predictions for pole, you asked Sam. In a nutshell, I have no idea. So we've got 5 different pole sitters. Anything can happen, and that's what I love about bronze. Is really good stuff indeed then. Gordo is saying I'm not racing, so to be honest, I don't care if anyone crashes. All brutal stuff. Nuda's saying bad attitude. Goodness gracious me there. Great stuff indeed then, of course, there, but hopefully Nunda could get some good points here tonight. I feel he was robbed in Spain, wasn't he, of course, after the Gore misjudged his breaking point and really ended Nunda's afternoon that week as well, which was a bit of a shame there, wasn't it? But nevertheless, unfortunately, these things happen in a Grand Prix race, and you see the circuit map is up in front of us right now. We have got 19 turns around Monaco, a lap record of a 1:14, which is set by Verstappen. Bronze's lap record does not exist yet because this is the first time ever that Bronze is racing in the Principality of Monaco. Remember last season we had a random calendar, didn't we? And Bronze had 9 races. It was a truncated World Championship, which was eventually won by Nude Potato, wasn't it? Who unfortunately had a bit of a miserable time last night, didn't you, Monaco? So, but next week it might get slightly better, depending on if you like street circus or not. It's Azerbaijan next week, and I gotta say that doesn't get any easier by any stretch of the imagination, does it? So 2 tough old races there, isn't it? So anyone who likes street circus are going to be loving this part of the season, aren't they? Before you end up then to Canada as well. Of course, Canada's also got close facility of barriers as well. Anyway, yes, of course. So the Monaco circuit overall in history hasn't really been altered much, has it? But there are some places where the barriers have been taken back slightly, hasn't it? Of course, or taken back. I should say my English is appalling. The swimming pool, the second part of the swimming pool section there, it's not as tight as it used to be, is it? Of course, there used to be no runoff in the second part of the swimming pool. I think they adjusted that around in between 2002 and 3, didn't they? And I think they opened up Rascaster at the same time as well, didn't they? It was a much more narrow at Rascaster, wasn't it? But more and more, it's a bit more straighter, or as straight as it can be. And in Sandoval as well, of course, the pit exit is now going out on the inside of Sandoval. Of course, before then, the pit exit kind of used to come straight onto the race line, didn't they? So they've tried to make it a bit more safe, albeit it's a lot more tougher now for the drivers to get out of the pits and stay inside that white line. It is a white line, isn't it? Or a yellow line. I think it's a white line around Monaco, isn't it? Goodness me, I need to do my homework, don't I? It's not like I've been commentating on this race for the past 2 nights, is it? But there you go then. Yeah, those are the track modifications then around Monaco. Of course, the Nouvelle Chicane didn't even exist, did it? Back in 1982, which is also, we mentioned about the 1982 Grand Prix back last night, didn't we? And that was a cracking race, which was eventually run by Riccardo Patrese, who did have the most Grand Prix starts for so long, didn't he? And in Formula 1 there, but of course he was overtaken recently by Barry Keller, wasn't he? And I think he's now overtaken. Was he overtaken by Fernando Alonso? Perhaps, I can't remember, to be honest. Goodness me. But yeah, really good stuff indeed then, as well as I've been asked a very difficult question here. What's the pole lap time for silver and gold last night? I gotta say, if I remember, I'll be a very happy man. I'm sure that it was a course that last night was it was Mark Mellon. I'm sure he did a 10. Quote me if I'm tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but wasn't it 109.2 or something? He was massively in front of the second place car there, and I'm sure in gold, I think we had a 108. Did we? If I'm not very much mistaken. Again, don't quote me on that there, because I have no earthly idea. It's not like I've watched it or anything, is it? We got Nunda saying no heroics into the turns. I can't pronounce all spell. Don't worry, nor can I. We are finally ready to get going here in Monaco, and of course we've had a bit of a extended pre-show here tonight. Of course, last night we didn't have no race at all, did we? Sorry, no pre-show at all there, because we were straight on it like a car bonnet. Well, tonight there we was just trying to make up for lost time, and also if anyone's very concerned about my paper cut finger, it's all taped up now. I lost a bit of blood, but I'm okay. I almost fainted last night, but I got through it. So we're getting into qualifying one as well. Gio has just said apparently he's racing. Mike has said it's madness, and I think it might be indeed then. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. As Gordo said, good luck if you are. So we are getting into the Monaco Grand Prix now. Then I'm really looking forward to this one. And bronze, I got to say, has been such a close championship at the moment. It's the closest out of all three championships in ALR so far. It really is. Cookie is looking very strong in gold. In silver, Murphy there, who was being hunted down by Pillars. The tables turned last night after Pillars had a bit of a nightmare race, didn't he? And we'll see if he can get back on the horse in Baku. But here tonight, but of course, Velocity has been keeping his lead, hasn't he? But it's just been just keeping in front of the opposition now. Then, just taking a look then as we've got. As we got to Gunnar saying, evening everyone, hello Gunnar, hope you're having a good time now. We got Gio saying, joining now then, and Nunda saying good evening as well. And I think that, on this game you can actually, even though you're joining late, you can actually take the seat in the car, I believe, as well. As Gordo was saying, unfortunately you'll have to start last. So yeah, I might be misleading everyone down a dark lane there on that one. As Becca has just done it's just a dry race there with also a bit of Saturday Night Fever. As Gio said, he can pick a car in qualifying. I believe you can there. So as there he is, he's in the session now, and we are about to get going as well. We've got Stereogram who's coming out of the pits as well. This is his third race start, and it's a very difficult race start as well. We've got Williams there who is flying up the hill already. It's Velocity, and of course we need to talk about the two Ferraris. Then you eagle-eyed viewers out there might be seeing that we got two new drivers for the Ferrari team here tonight. Of course, Brandon then, who has driven in a race already this season. Well, he's driven in two, I should say, hasn't he? He's driven in the Chinese and the Dutch Grand Prix. Didn't race last time out in Spain, but Brandon is back with a vengeance, and he's driving the very famous Scarlet Ferrari, isn't he? And a really good somebody. Gio has taken up his car in the AlphaTauri as well. Lovely stuff indeed there from Gio as well, as we're coming down into the Nouvelle Chicane. And lovely stuff as we're on board there with the championship leader, which is Velocity in the Williams there as he flies through to back as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. And the other Ferrari driver is it's a household name with ALR, isn't it? It is Forza there. Of course, he had a very difficult spell at Haas, didn't he, in the Australian Grand Prix, but he is back in action and he's in his beloved Ferrari car as well. So Forza is also making a return tonight as well. I've got to say, a very difficult returnee for Forza. Forza is a former winner of bronze as well. He has won the British Grand Prix last season. Velocity there taking it. It's standing up very nicely indeed. Actually got a yellow flag already in the second part of the swimming pool as Velocity is coming over the crest of the hill as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. And And just as Gordo was absolutely good by the fact that I think Gio's in the session as well. Then, of course, Gio, a new one of the newer drivers actually in terms of ALR. I think he has started a race, if I'm not very much mistaken. No, he hasn't. Not yet. I don't think so. This is his first race start here tonight for Gio. Of course, he's been very chatty in the Oda drivers chat room, hasn't he? So good stuff indeed there for Gio. And let's see how he can get on then in his first taste then of ALR racing here on Formula 1 2020 here in the Monaco Grand Prix. We've already got 50 comments already. Goodness me, guys. You're very chatty tonight, aren't you? Goodness gosh. We got velocity there coming through the swimming pool with such velocity as well. And of course, those jokes never get old on me, I got to say. And we got he's in the wall there. Oh dear, Raskas there. Of course, that place has got a VIP pass, hasn't it, for both for the Ferrari team, hasn't it? Velocity goes fastest on 11-1 at the moment now for the Williams team. Then good stuff indeed. Then, and that's a good old marker he has thrown down. Then Curly Red. Then I've got to say, in the last couple of races has been absolutely fabulous, hasn't he? DRS, only one DRS zone around the Monaco street circuit. Of course, they could have it in the tunnel, but I think it would play absolute havoc with the old aerodynamics there. We got Mike then, who I think who is just coming up to the line as well. He is in third position. He's the slowest of the 3 times so far. His teammate Newman there, who is just starting his lap as well. Then, as you can see, Mike there just getting out of the way then. And we've also got a Alpha Tower there just finished off his lap. So Nunda is coming through the final corner. Nunda is on an outlap then, so Energetics not be too happy with that. Fran then, who is Energetics goes fast. It's a good time there from Energetics. Fran has been fantastic in the last couple of races, I got to say. He's been absolutely brilliant, I have to say. Fran, as Renbo has gone into third position. Good lap there from Renbo. Nunda is starting us up as well. We've got Newman, of course, who's coming into the lows here as well. Bradfield is also in the lows as well. And lovely stuff indeed. Oh, is that Newman's had a problem? And he is getting out of the way then. Of course, it's very difficult. This probably is the worst track of the year in terms of the old in terms of traffic and everything like that. So I quickly just swipe away all the old comments and all that kind of stuff as well. I don't mean the comments in the old chat. I just mean the comments there, which I'm getting all kinds of notifications come out here. We're on board Bradfield at the moment, and his back end was snaking around there slightly, wasn't it? Oh, he's taking a bit of a brush there onto back. These end plates, I've been saying in the last 2 races, the Monaco barriers don't seem as painful as they did last season, do they? I don't think the end plates fall off as easily, do they? Bradfield coming to the line, and he has gone into 6th fast at the moment now, and Newman has also got the slowest of the runners so far on 22. And Nundo's come across the line 8th fastest. The man who was on pole position last time out, he is 8th fastest at this moment in time. Then here is Gio then, as he is starting to stop. Oh, he's gone in a bit too tight there, and he has damaged the end plate there of Gio, so he's going to have to go around again, unfortunately. And I think we've got to keep an eye on what Newman can do. He's 2.4 seconds up in the first intermediate split time now with the white helmet. Lovely stuff indeed then. Just taking a look at the old comments as well. Gunnar said, all good until I get on track, Sean. Good old positive thinking there from Gunnar, as I'm sure he's looking forward to it, isn't he? The man who's been with us for the longest time actually in terms of ALR, well, in terms of races he's covered anyway. Of course, then is now, because I think the man who's been with us since the get-go still is actually Dan Murphy there. Of course, he was in the first ever ALR race in Australia season 1 then. And it's a Newman there is giving it all kinds of welly, isn't he? As we come into Raskas as well then, and coming into Anthony Noakes, and of course that is named after the man who had the idea to race around the Principality. And he comes up to the line, Newman does, and he goes 6th fastest there. Whisker behind his teammate by 500 of a second to be precise then. Forza starting to lap then. Let's see what Forza could do on his comeback. We'll keep an eye on that. And I thought I said a bit of debris there, but it might have been some leaves coming in off the tree as well. Here comes Camera Racer then in the Red Bull then, as he comes out into the sunshine, and now then dropping down and into the new Val chicane. And I've got to say, I am so intimidated by the walls at Monza. Incredible stuff indeed then. And we're on board then as Troy is saying there, good luck today. Another Haas 1-2 incoming then. Perhaps then of course, that would need to be a Rentbo and the Gort there to get that 1-2 then. But I have but of course, both those two drivers are very fine young racing drivers, aren't they? Camera goes 6th fast at the moment there in the Red Bull. Lovely stuff indeed then. What about the Ferraris then? Here comes Forza then. Of course, this is his first race. Oh, and he's gone wide there, and he's letting his teammate Brandon through. Of course, Ferrari got completely new driver lineup then for the. Oh, goodness me, and Forza I think was just on track still. Yeah, so Brandon then coming up to the line. A good time now for Brandon. He is 5th fastest at the moment in time. And of course, he hasn't finished the race yet in his bronze career, but this is a first spell as a full-time ALR driver. So good luck to Brandon. I hope he does well. And it's an all-new start. It's an all-new start for Ferrari from this moment forward, isn't it? Let's see what they can do then with 2 new drivers then here tonight. Then we got Stereogram goes into 12th fast at the moment. Gio is back out on track, but he's invalidated his time. Maz is only gone at 13th fast mode. He is the slowest of the cars that set a time so far. And here comes the Gort as well. And the Gort currently has got 18 points so far, the same as his teammate Rempo. So the Haas are very evenly matched, aren't they, in the American-based outfit? But I think the Gort probably should have had more points this season, and Rempo probably could have and should have definitely been on the podium. Perhaps maybe even she should have won the Dutch Grand Prix. So of course, but Mike there was in the right place at the right time there. Absolutely nailed the strategy, spot on there, didn't he? Good stuff indeed. Gort taking a lot of speed there for the new Val chicane. I thought he was going to make it, but indeed he was having no problems there, was he? Through to back as well, then of course into the swimming pool, straight line the first part of the swimming pool, nailed it spot on there. Second part of the swimming pool as well, bunny hopping over the chicane then into Rascast as well then, before coming to anti-nose. Then here comes car 98 then through now, DRS right on the money, and let's see what I can do then. And the Gort goes across the line and goes second fast there. He is right on the money, albeit 0.4 of a second off the pace at the moment. Here comes Gunnar, who's also started us out. Gio's invalidated this time, so he's going to have to go around again then. Maz is having a much better second bite of the cherry here. He goes 12th fast at the moment then. And oh goodness me, we've got a bit of a car park down at Sandoval. And and that Stereogram has gone into the wall. He's improved this time actually though by a second there up until that point now. So Stereogram is just getting his eyes there in, I think. So that yellow flag is for Stereogram's M plate as well. Here comes Gunnar. Of course, Gunnar, who I wrongfully said there, got his first points of the season last time. That was as a camera left the session there. I think he was unhappy that I wrongly accused Gunnar of getting first points last time out. Of course, Gunnar has scored in the last 2 races, hasn't he? So he's on a hat-trick. Can he get some more points on the board there for the Red Bull team? And here he comes then through the swimming pool section now. He's done a 54 in the second intermediate split time then. Lovely stuff indeed then. And now as he comes into Rascas and now into Anthony Noakes then, the famous green and white helmet of Gunnar, and he comes up to the line, and let's see what he can do then. He has posted a 14.0 then for Gunnar, and he is currently 14th of the 15 runners so far. Forza's back out on track now. What about Ayrton? Ayrton's invalidated this time. Ayrton has been incredible this season, hasn't he? Fantastic. And also sporting a pink helmet. I think a lot of the drivers will be sporting pink helmets here tonight, as they have done over the past couple of nights for the just to show their appreciation and respects of Formula 2 driver Anton Hubert, who lost his life a year and a day ago, didn't he? Of course, well, a year ago yesterday, didn't he? And one of the most horrific accidents that you'll ever witness, won't you, in Formula 1? Well, in any motorsport category. Absolutely horrific scenes, wasn't it, last season in Spa? Really was indeed there. Shocking before. It was absolutely shocking, wasn't it? And of course, Carrera as well, a man who was also involved in that, of course, really damaged his legs as Ayrton's gone into the barrier there, as he's damaged the end plate as well, the Mercedes driver has. Carrera there, who's hoping for a comeback next season, and I think that'd be really good to see, wouldn't it? Really would there for Carrera there. Of course, he's had also a very tough time as well. As Ayrton there is coming back in the pits, coming over the straight line, the chicane now. He's going to have to get himself a move on there, because he's only got 7 minutes there. He's half the session left to go. We'll find out what we can do then. We've got Young Lights saying hello. I hope you're having a good time, Young Lights, as well. Of course, Young Lights unfortunately didn't start the race on Sunday, did he, because of some dodgy old interweb issues, isn't it? And I thought we was going to have the same here tonight as like we had at Vietnam, where he's going to have to delay the race or even postpone it or even cancel it. Full stop. Forza comes across the line. He goes a little fast moment then, as we got Bradfield leaving the session then. as Nunda's gone into 11 fastest. Lovely stuff there from Nunda. I got to say, I'm quite surprised actually the amount of drivers that leave for sessions over the past couple of days there. Now, I don't think it's the host's fault at all. I think that there's something going on with the old servers and stuff, isn't it? Now, I think they might have to turn them off and turn them back on then. Gio forgot to put on the pink helmet, but don't worry about that, Gio. I think as we're on board there with Newman, then look at this, and that's a car park down in Mirabeau, and I think that's really hurt Newman's time, hasn't he? He's in 10th position at the moment, isn't he? And unfortunately this is also hurting Gio's time as well. There's a traffic jam, and I think it's behind Stereogram, who is currently having a bit of problems there, isn't he? I think he's only on an outlap, but according to the telemetry on the left hand side there, and now he gets out of the way as well, but unfortunately the damage might have been done for the two behind him of Gio and on Newman as well, so that was unfortunately bad timing, wasn't it? And you can see that we've got 3 cars very much line of steering. Of course, it's a 2.0 mile circuit, isn't it? It's a very condensed circuit. It really is. I think it's the shortest in terms of distance, if I'm not very much mistaken. Always at Newman has also clipped the inside barrier there. We've had a couple of incidents over there in the years, haven't we? Verstappen comes to mind straight away. 2000. Oh goodness me, 2000 and 16 and 18 where he met the barrier. Unfortunately, we've also had Frentzen going there in 2003 as well, didn't he, in his Sauber Petronas. Unfortunately for Frentzen, as Gio is invalidated his time now, he's really struggling with Sandoval at the moment. We're on board with RDW, who I think last week in Spain was, he's hit the inside barrier there. I think we seen Damon Hill do that a couple of years ago in the Jordan, didn't he, in 99 or 98, I think, if I'm not very much mistaken. Well, RDW is in a similar colour car. He's in the yellow car, isn't he? And but there's a Bradfield is back in the session. He's currently 13 fastest. I don't think that's going to be safe there for Bradfield, especially if I've just got I've got my finger stuck. As already Guido is going to come in the pit, so he's got 5 minutes to go in this session now to sort himself out. He's damaged the car then. Gio's invalidated his time, so he got far back out on the circuit road. He's currently 18 fastest then. He hasn't set a time yet, has he? As Ayrton there is also on an outlap as well. I think Gio's going to have to also go for it again, isn't he? We've got just less than 5 minutes to go as well then. Yeah, as I was saying, Gio then, Gio unfortunately forgot his helmet tonight, but don't worry about that, Gio. Of course, you can definitely support a pink helmet next time you race as well. Of course, it was a bit of a rush to get Gio in the car, wasn't it? It was a very much a last minute kind of transfer, wasn't it? To get him in the AlphaTauri. It was a last, so very much it was a last minute thing, wasn't it? So unfortunately, I think Dead Rabbit has not come to the party. Brandon's doing a cracking job in his first race in Ferrari. He's up into 6th position. Fantastic stuff out from the Ferrari driver. Really well done. On board with Ayrton, he climbs up the hills as you can see then, before we dip down and into Casino Square as well. Ayrton is sporting the pink helmet, and he comes through Casino Square as well, coming down to Mirror, but Ayrton does avoid that bump in the road there. I think it's because of a junction, isn't it, in the black Mercedes as well then. Now into low hairpin, we've got Stereogram in front of him again, but Stereo looks like he's on an outlap again. Let's see if Stereo gets out of the way then, as we're coming into Portier as well then. I've mentioned on the various streams there that Stereo does get out of the way. Good man. He's in 16 fast moments as Stereo is, so he is staring into the abyss as well. We have got Maz, who's just gone for 6 fast, looking very strong, Maz, at the moment. No, I don't think Maz has shown his true hand in ALR Bronze this season, has he? He is not got any points on the board at all at the moment. He has finished the race he has been in, but unfortunately he's not I think he DNF'd one race as well, but he's finished Australia and he finished Spain, but he didn't but he DNF'd, didn't he, in Bahrain. And now Ayrton coming through the final turn as well. I've been on board with Ayrton for most of that lap. Quite enjoyable that was. Let's see if it's an enjoyable on the timesheet. It is 13 fastest. He will enjoy that quite well. He will enjoy that more than what he was earlier on. Gunar's now in the drop zone, so is Stereogram as well. Mike is retired from the session, but he is in the pits end, so of course you've got to keep an eagle eye out, haven't you? Of course, if you damage your car where any of the wheels there is ripped off, that is it. You are done in this session. You are out of qualifying. No T cars in Formula 1 these days. I say that a lot then, because as that Farf goes third fast and showing that he's got some real pace in that Renault as well. Gio is still having trouble. He's into Poirier there, of course. And goodness me, in the Haas there, almost going into the side of him as well. That's not good at all for Gio there, and he is almost, I think he's out of this qualifying session, isn't he? He hasn't set a time so far, has he, for Gio, which is such a shame for the debutant then. And now as he comes over the crest of the hill as well, then as Gio's retired from the session then, and oh, he's gone down into the front chicane as well. Is that going to cause any issues for the remaining runners? Forza hasn't set a time yet either. Where is Gio's gone into the wall there on the inside there of the new Val chicane. And RDW hasn't set a time yet either. Velocity is retired from the session then. Stereogram is out on track at the moment. Now we've also got Gunnar as well and Bradfield. Also Forza is very much on the cusp. He's a tenth of a second in front of Bradfield. Ayrton is still out there as well. Ayrton might need to get some times on the board as he is down in 14th position, and Nunda is doing a cracking job there. As I think I just read a comment there from Nunda, definitely worthy of a 1 minute 10 there from Nunda. At the moment there he's down at 11.6 at the moment then. Ardy Wheeler coming out of Rascast now coming into Anti-Noakes, and let's see what he can do then. That is very much I've got to say I was quite cautious there from Ardy Wheeler, but he just wants a time on the board. And it's a good time indeed from Ardy Week. Goodness me. And there's a lot more time in that Renault as well, because he was very cautious there in the final stage of the lap as well. Bradfield is 2/10 of a second with the moment. Then we've got Gunnar and we've got Stereogram who's invalid this time. And I think Stereogram is too far from home. Here comes Bradfield through the final turn of Anti-Noakes, and he is coming up to the line as well. His target time is 11.9. He has improved. He is through into qualifying 2 as it stands. Newman is in a lot of trouble at the moment. Ayrton is still going on great guns as well. Well, Gunnar at the moment there is in the middle part of the lap as well. Ayrton there coming through the final turn. I think one of Ayrton's harvested. The Gore is retired from the session as well. Ayrton DRS is on the money. Is it improved? It is improved, but he's still in the drop zone there. Ayrton he's got time for one more run, but has he got enough time there? But has he got enough deployment? Gunnar on track at the moment. Then we've got Forza who's making his return there, down in 17th position at the moment. Has he got any time left in the bag? He's in 16th fastest. What about Gunnar? Gunnar coming for the finals. Oh, Gunnar could break through, is he? Oh, he's 18th in the end then, but he improves by a massive 1.2 seconds. Gunnar does. Great stuff indeed then. Ayrton is a second and a half down the first split, and I think Ayrton is also bowing out of the first part of qualifying as well. There is some huge names there in ALR history, which is unfortunately taking the walk of shame in the first part of qualifying 1 here in Monaco. And of course, over the years we have seen a lot of big names there retire from the come out of the first part of qualifying 1. Like I think we've had Massa a couple of years. We had Massa, didn't we, in 2007? I'm sure we did. We've had Hamilton also have problems in qualifying too, didn't he? I think it was 2017, wasn't it, or something like that. The list just goes on, doesn't it, really? And I think Alonso as well in 2010 there didn't get through, did he either? As I think he couldn't qualify because he had issues with the Ferrari. Ayrton out of qualifying, unfortunately. Forza out of qualifying as well. So is Gunnar, and so is Stereogram as well. And not forgetting Gio as well, who didn't set a time unfortunately, but hopefully will be back in for but we'll be back in for the race in the not too distant future as well. Then just quickly looking at the comments then, and seeing what's going on then is I think Gio is having a bit of a difficult time now. This is the first time he's done Monaco on 2020. Gio is then, and I've got to say that's very brave of him to even attempt to do the Monaco race, do a league race in Monaco as your first time. I got to say on 2020. So fantastic stuff from Gio. Very brave from the rookie indeed. Then here tonight then, and it's not over. Remember, the points do not get awarded in qualifying; they get rewarded on the race day. Well, the race time I should say, because the beauty about league races, you get the race and qualifying all in the same couple of hours, which is absolutely beautiful stuff, isn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. Sam is still loving his qualifying 2 lap, which he set on a Sunday, of course, because Sam part of the gold standard of ALR, isn't he? Yeah, it was a cracking lap in Q2. Really pulled that one out of the bag, didn't he? Really good stuff indeed then. As Sam was saying, get your brother on. Anyway, then let's take a quick look at the 5 drivers that are out qualifying. Gio unfortunately didn't set a time, but remember that's his first attempt on Monaco Formula 1 2020. Then, so it's still a brave man to be getting out there anyway. Stereogram in 19th position, Gunnar in 18th, Ayrton in 17th, and Forza in 16th on his return to ALR bronze in the Ferrari. Then, so of course Forza probably didn't get as much test time in either. Then, right, we're going into qualifying 2 in just a few moments time, and we'll find out then who is going to be in qualifying 3, who is going to be starting 11th to 15th, and that is our aim for this next qualifying session. And everyone's just coming back to pits by the looks of the the graphic there. Of course, we might be doing a sprint race. No, yet we got some time now, haven't we? I thought we was going to do a Monaco sprint race. Now, wouldn't that be good, everyone? Wouldn't it? I'm sure everyone loves a sprint race. I got to say, I'm quite a Formula One traditionalist. Really, I don't really like the idea on like sprint races to set up the grid and all that kind of jazz. Personally, but that's just me. I'm not sure what you guys think in the old comments there, but I personally, maybe less practice sessions. To be honest, I would like to see more opportunities for younger drivers personally. So you know, because if anyone remembers back in the, I think it was like 2003, 4 region there, because they used to have the Friday drivers, didn't they? They had the likes of Anthony Davidson, who used to really shine in the BAR team, didn't he, in 2003? Very impressive Friday driver as well. I think Alan McNish. Oh, it's Brandon almost in the wall there. I think he was looking down in the the cockpit there, wasn't he? Well, of course, we also had Alan McNish driving the Renault team in 2003 as well, wasn't he? After his short stint there with the Toyota team in 2002. And it was good to see Alan McNish there, of course, a veteran of sports car, wasn't he? To test his skill against Formula One and single seaters. Unfortunately, it didn't work out too well for Alan McNish. But then again, I don't think the Toyota was the quickest car in the 2002 grid, was it? As I think they only scored 1 point all season, didn't they? Which was back in Australia. Which I think, back in Australia, then I think they finished 10th in the constructors that year as well, didn't they? For the Toyota team then. Anyway, that's a random bit of information which no one's even interested in, are they? So I'm just taking there as Sam saying, still remember that close shave up after completing my Q2 lap. I've got to say, yes, I did. Goodness me, then that was a close shave, wasn't it? I think I've mentioned something about Wallace and Gromit, if I'm not very much mistaken. But of course, a lot of things happened between Sunday and today. I got to be honest, I've had a lot of meals since then, and that's kind of what fills most of my mind, or 90% of my mind anyway, is food. Brandon there coming into Sander Vault, then of course, say he's really started on that form, hasn't he? He's the only Ferrari left in qualifying session, but Brandon is having a fantastic qualifying session here in Monaco at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then, and really good stuff indeed. Noreen now saying hi. Hello Noreen, I hope you're well, and really good stuff indeed then. And as Energetic saying, am I too old? You're saying then? I think I've missed something there. Perhaps I have, as of course you guys are just chatting away in the comments, and I kind of like just look down and I'm like, I think I've missed something there, which I probably have, or I'm a bit slow there, so you might have to give me time to just catch up to all your wit which is going on there. So Brandon then is coming through the tunnel at the moment, and there's a racing point in front of him of Curly Red at the moment. No, then Curly Red is it's the other racing point of Mans as well. Oh, as Brandon's invalidated his time now. He would like to get his time in early there, so he can just sit back and relax, but that is not going to be the case anymore. We're going to join Velocity, the championship leader, who's got a 10-point gap over Far, who is in second position. As he comes through to the back now in the Williams end, he is on the medium compound tyres. That Velocity is, of course, if you get into the top 10, you must start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on. And I got to say, I have been arguing over the past 2 days that perhaps strategy is not as important around here. It's all about track position, albeit Emerson showed that you can overtake here, and we had some amazing overtakes last night as well, didn't we? Some cracking overtakes then as Velocity goes fast on the medium tyres. Newman there's really struggling on this flavour of circuit at the moment there. He is in second position there. Curly Red there in third position as well. He's on good form though, Curly Red, isn't he? Yellow flag in 2 as one of the Haas drivers is just parked up on the side of the barrier there. It is Renbo as I think she's looking a bit light there in terms of her front wing there. I think she's missing an end plate. Brandon is going for the second bite of the cherry as well. McLaren just getting away there. Newman is in second position now. Mike is in third position at the moment then, and now we'll come down to see French chicane as well. Brandon is then. Lovely stuff indeed then is Gooner saying nice lap from Velocity on the medium tyres. That's a really good lap, isn't it? Absolutely good stuff indeed then. Is Gio is now out of the car, and he is now in the comments as well, and welcoming everyone, which is good stuff indeed, Gio there. I'm glad someone is keeping up with the old 1-2 step there, bit of the cha-cha slide. Oh goodness me there, he kissed the Armco barrier there of Auntie Noakes. Goodness me there, got a bit too friendly I think Brandon did, but still fourth position. Lovely stuff indeed there from the Ferrari driver. Energetics there is coming for Lewis Hairpin. He's going to encounter a pretty slow car in front of him. Of course I think that car though is on an installation lap or coming back in the pits there. Curly Red sporting the pink helmet as well. Lovely stuff indeed. He goes into fifth fast run, displaces Bradfield there, who's dropped down into 6th at the moment. Energetics, lovely over-the-shoulder shot here from the man who was runner-up last season in bronze, wasn't he? This season, and it's been a bit more of a difficult start for Energetics, but I'd like to see what he can do from here on in then. Fran, I think Fran has been brilliant in the last 2 races, hasn't he? And I think he deserves some points there. It's today the day where he's going to get some points out for the Mercedes team. He comes across the line. He is at 7th fastest at the moment there on a 12.8 then. Energetics invalidated this time then, so we leave him to it for a minute. Nunda there coming across the line. Nunda goes 7th fastest then. The man who's on pole position at the Spanish Grand Prix, wasn't he? A fantastic lap as well there. He judged the conditions to absolute perfection, didn't he? Really good stuff indeed. There was very much a Barrichello-esque lap, wasn't it? When Barrichello really was very good at qualifying in wet conditions. Remember, he got his first pole position at the Belgian Grand Prix back in 1994, didn't he? For the Jordan team then. Oh, it's a big old lock up there on the inside. I think Jordan were powered by Hart, weren't they, back then? Before they went to the Peugeot engines there. Of course, the Peugeot engines were powering the McLaren team, weren't they? Unfortunately, the Peugeot partnership didn't go too well at all, did it? As they had a lot of blow-ups, unfortunately, for Martin Brundle. He had those fair share of blow-ups, didn't they? And, which is such a shame, really, wasn't it, for Martin Brundle? Because he could have had a lot more good results, didn't he? And one of the most heartbreaking things for Brundle was that he had a engine failure on the open, and basically before he even got out of his start box in Silverstone. Energetics then into the swimming pool section as well then, and coming into Raskas. And of course, don't feel too sorry for Martin Brundle, because he had a 2nd place here in the Monaco Grand Prix 1992. No, was it 93? Possibly, or 91, I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers in the air then. Energetics then, it's gone fast as on the soft tyres there. No messing about for Energetics then. Far off the second, the man who's 2nd in the World Championship. As I mentioned, in Spain then, probably could have and should be higher if it wasn't for those mistakes in Spain then, and of course punctures in Australia and in China there. Maybe overthinking the strategy perhaps, and having an extra stop right at the end then. But that is just my thinking then. There's a Gunnar saying, go on, Camaro. At least one bronze Red Bull driver can drive then. He is currently in 6th fastest one there. Camaro is, isn't he? In the 2nd Red Bull. Of course, Gunnar out qualifying already, unfortunately. But he has scored points out on the last 2 races he has been involved in. And there's a Alfa Romeo there who's just going slow. It's Energetics who's just set a time as well. Lovely stuff indeed. As Nunda had wing damage the whole lap there, and I think that's so Nunda is going to come back out on circuit and have a 2nd bite of the cherry. Far from invalidated this time. He's going to have a 2nd bite of the cherry. He's going to have an extra lap on those medium tyres. Mazda on that track, and then got Gore, who is now coming into the final part of the lap as well. And let's see if Gore can really get on song with his Haas car. And he has shown glimpses of speed. Remember, in the last race of last season, he finished 2nd there behind Dan Murphy, who's very much was tearing up in silver in the first 3 races. Gore goes 7th fast at the moment, but of course he's had a bit of a stopgap, hasn't he, with Pillars coming in in the silver category, isn't he? But of course he outscored Pillars for the first time since Pillars took over that full-time Ferrari drive. Red Bull is goodness me there, coming through Raskas, and now then into Anthony Noakes then, and away she goes, and let's see what she can do on the time. And she's gone 5th fastest in front of goodness me then. I gotta say then, the close shaves on here is absolutely ridiculous. I gotta say, I need a close shave. I need to get rid of this mop that I've got on my head then. I gotta say, I look like Cousin It at the moment. Mazda, he's into Raskas there. Of course, Ferrari were part there, weren't they, famously in 2006, where Schumacher accidentally overshot Raskas, didn't they? I say accidentally in inverted commas there, but you know me, I like to keep myself on the fence. That Ardy Wee has done a time, but I don't think that time is relative of what he can do then, so I expect more from Ardy Wee. Far from full fast at the moment then, on a 2nd timed lap then. Back of RDW now then, of course RDW was looking at a very sharp in qualifying one then. Can he produce some pace in qualifying too then? Perhaps he threw away some points in Spain now, didn't he, where he pitted for an extra time in the final stage of the Spanish Grand Prix. I think he was looking very strong for at least 8th position that day, wasn't he? Good drive from RDW, and I'm hoping he can do more of the same again here tonight as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. There's a Bradfield saying, I'm gutted, I lost all my setups, the car is terrible. Oh, that's a shame there, isn't it, for for Bradfield. I think they've also stopped the podium pass as well, which I'm absolutely devastated by. I haven't even finished my podium pass stuff yet, and unfortunately it stopped. So I wish that someone gave me some warning, or perhaps everyone did give me warning, but I don't read well. I got to say, I don't listen to a lot of people, as unfortunately the admins can really back me up on that one, can't they? As I seem to miss a lot of announcements. As Artie Weed and going out of the final turn, and let's see what the Renault driver did. It's a much better time. He is 11 fast at the moment now, and a tenth of a second away from the safe haven of qualifying 3 at the moment. Nunes on second bite of the chair as well. Velocity is retired from the session very early on. A lot of things can happen in 5 minutes around Monaco. So I'm not. So we're watching his teammate at the moment, and so I'm not sure if that might be a mistake there from the championship leader. But we'll find out. I'm not getting myself too excited just yet. Into the pits there with just under 5 minutes to go is Nunda then. Fran there is behind one of the Renaults there. He's cruising back to the pits. Curly Red there is invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again. Farf is also cruising back to the pits as well. What about Camera Racer? He is 2 seconds down there, so I'm going to keep an eye and see what Curly Red can do. He comes into Sandoval now, and he powers up the hill. Lovely stuff indeed there. Yeah, I think it looks like Bradfield might be running a default setup there, so that is a big blow for Bradfield, isn't it? He is down in 12th position though there, so that, I got to say that's a fantastic time for this. This is on default setup. Really good stuff indeed there for Bradfield. Love it. But he's coming into oh, goodness me, Curly Red there, I've got to say, he was on the Rally of Monaco, wasn't he? And I think that Sebastian Loeb will be absolutely loving that, won't he? We got Newman, who's retired from the session. He's second fastest one. I was panicking a bit there because I couldn't see Newman's name, but he's near the top of the timesheets, isn't he? Newman is, and he's doing a much better fist of this in the second qualifying session, isn't he? Yeah, Curly Red, I've got to say, was definitely wrestling that car, wasn't he? Going down to Lowe's hairpin. That's definitely not the quickest way, is it, to get yourself through there? He's 7/10 a second up though, Curly Red is. So goodness me, I think there's more time in the locker here from the Racing Point driver, but of course he doesn't want to do any more laps than he has to necessarily do on these times, if that makes any abundance of sense, which it really doesn't, does it? We've got Gurman saying, let's go Curly. He's currently on a good lap. He is 6 fast at the moment. Curly is that safe with 3.5 minutes to go. I wouldn't bet my bottom dollar on that one. Oh, it's 6/800 a second up. Camera Racer is there as he comes into the swimming pool. He's a 10th a second up there. There's a lot of commitment here from the Red Bull driver then as he comes into Rascas as well. So now he's accelerated away. A short squirt there to the line then as well. Then DRS then right open there for the Red Bull driver. And he comes up to the line and he is a 5/10 a second on the pace. Bradfield is 10th fast then. Really underlined that he has got some speed here tonight then. And it's a shame he hasn't got his proper setup on, is it? Sam is saying, Becca, stop copying my close shave. I got to say, that was a very close shave, wasn't it? I'm not sure which is closer, Sam's or Becca's. As Maz has gone up into 9th fastest. By the way, Becca is a Renbo in the Haas Ferrari car. Oh, camera just get on the way as Bradfield there is just on an in-lap at the moment. Gore isn't. He's on an out-lap at the moment now. We've got 2 minutes to go there. I got to say, that time is getting quicker and quicker, isn't it? Of course, it feels like it's getting quicker, and it really is, isn't it? Let's see if anyone's getting quicker. What about the track evolution here in Monaco? Out of the new Val chicane now, and now coming up then to back there. I've got to say, I love these sequence of corners then to back and the swimming pool as well. We've seen a lot of incidents over there down the line as well, haven't we? Like, for example, if Coulthard went over the Fizzy Keller went over the back of David Coulthard's McLaren in 2004, and that was a red flag, wasn't it? Rosberg had a big old clout with the barrier in 2008 when the Monaco circuit was drying up. We've seen Montoya also spin it into the barrier there as well in 2001 when he made his debut. Legore has had a horrific start there, so he's got to go again then as the McLaren is getting wheeled in a Fran. We got Nunda, who is coming out of Portier and into the tunnel as well then. So now he's coming into the light there. As you can see, the light would normally blind you, but of course there's a big old lockup at the inside front there. Nunda is invalidated his time then. That's not good at all. Fran and RDW are still in the pits, and we've seen that third time. Yep, that's it. The Mercedes on the dolly wheels there, getting wheeled back in, didn't we? So as Brandon's up in the fourth. Brandon's had a fantastic event here, isn't he, in the Ferrari? Lovely stuff. Renbo is retired from the session as well. She is in 8th fast at the moment there. And there's going to be some very nervous onlookers, isn't there? Including me then in this qualifying 2 session. I always get nervous for some reason. I don't know why, but I just love it. And then flying into the back as well then. Legore is 3/10 a second up. Where is that then? It's in the postcode of qualifying 3. That is what he needs to be then. He needs to make sure that he is a quick but precise then for the final part of the course. Now into the Anti-Nose as well. Lovely stuff indeed there. I got to say, looking a bit also very cautious there for Anti-Nose there. You don't want to ruin it right at the end there. And the Gore on 3 lap mode, medium tyres, is 9th fastest then. Out lap for Fran then. He has got 40 seconds to get himself around there. And Nunda has only got 40 seconds as well then. This is going to get very tense indeed then. Nunda down in 15th position at this moment in time then. Camera Racers retired from the session. He is out of qualifying. We got half a minute to go then. I think it's now race against the time then to see if we can get through then. Nunda, I think, is on a lap at the moment. He is on a lap then. And he accelerates away then. Coming out, Bradfield's retired from the session. So Camera 11th. Bradfield in 12th then. Kissing the outside Armco barrier there. And Nunda, he's 5/10 of a second down then. I wonder if he's racing just to get to the end of the lap here then to set a time. I don't think Fran's going to make it. He isn't going to make it there unless I've desynced, which is very realistic, isn't it? And the checker flag has fallen there. And Nunda there, a lovely shot here, by the way. Oh, I love that shot. A fantastic shot of the suspension there, the Williams there. I haven't seen that camera angle on the Formula 1 2019 yet. That was brilliant. I love that. Unfortunately, though, that's the end of qualifying. That was a bit of a damp squeak at the end, wasn't it? Is it squid or squid? But I don't really know. Brandon has retired from the session then. And that is that then. But apparently, according to this, Fran is actually carrying on with his lap then. And of course, we did have this. There was a bit of a discussion about the old timing glitch, wasn't there? And as Nunda said, he got damage on every lap there. Nunda did, as a very frustrated man there in the Williams pit lane there, isn't it? Whilst his teammates is third, Nunda down in 15th, and I feel that remember in Spain as well, it was going to be a fantastic race as well for Nunda, wasn't it? Well, it was a fantastic qualifying anyway for Nunda. No one's going to take that pole position away because that is in the record books. It's signed, sealed and delivered now for the rest of time then. So well done to Nunda on that front as well, as he also shows his bit of anguish there in the comments as well then. The new Val chicane then, Fran does now coming into back and again and back on board there with the Mercedes driver. He did cross the line after the time finished then, so I'm not sure what's going to happen here then, but we'll carry on with Fran anyway, unless I'm desynced now. We still have Williams there just in front of us there. I think that was Nunda's car there. Had just on a victory lap though. We're probably just getting more accustomed to the lap then. So Fran comes across the line. He is 12th fast in the end. Fran is there, and 3/10 of second up then, and that is the end of qualifying 2 here in the Monaco Grand Prix. Possibly the most important qualifying of the season, maybe, but I think in terms of start, of course, it's the Spanish Grand Prix, isn't it? It seems to be more important, but yeah, it's we have had some fantastic races over there, haven't we? Of course, as Monaco can definitely throw up a surprise or 5, can it, in any single race then. So just on board with Fran then, as he is now coming back to the pits then. He is in 12th position here today for the Monaco Grand Prix, so just outside the top 10. Let's just remind ourselves who is through in the qualifying 3. We have Energetics, Newman and Velocity. The top 3 are looking strong at the moment. Brandon is looking fantastic, isn't he, on his full debut for Ferrari. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Farf, the man who's second in the World Championship, is 5th in the world. Mike, who is 4th in the Championship, is 6th. Curly Red have shown a strong performance again there. Renbo and the Gore is 9th and 8th then in the both Haas teams, and we've got the second racing point of Maz, who hasn't scored a point yet this season, in 10th position as well then. As you see, we've just got a couple of guys retiring from the session then as well then, and as we're just on board with Fran then, he's just enjoying himself there as he's coming through Anti-Nose, and he finishes off the time, finishes off his time in qualifying for now anyway. So out of qualifying we had Nunda. We just heard in the comments that he really struggled there. He damaged the car on every single lap. RDW out in 40th position there. He showed much promise in qualifying 1, unfortunately. Bradfield having issues with his setup there. The car is very unbalanced by the sounds of it. Fran in 12th position, and Camaro is in 11th position as well. But he has a choice of compounded tyres then for the race then, as we are now going into qualifying 3. Who is going to be on pole position? Are we going to have a second successive pole position for someone? Well, we haven't had that so far. We've had 5 different pole sitters in ALR bronze so far. It's been so competitive in qualifying, as that single lap pace has been amazing. Jake Wilson, well done, Fran there. The only the one that gained a position on that lap was very worth a quality ban. There, so oh dear. And we've also got Nunda as well there, who's just given a good old laughing emojis as well then. Right, we're going into qualifying 3 then as well then. It's I think I wonder if that was because of the the time desync then. I'm not even sure how that works, to be honest. Is it because they have a different time on their screens? I do not know, to be honest, and I have been told it many times times, but again, that just shows that I don't really listen very much, do I? McLaren is coming out of the garage then. Which one is it? It is the man who's won 2 races so far this season, the only man to win 2 races in bronze so far. It is Mike then, and he's in qualifying 3 then. Let's see what he could do in the race here tonight then. And he was very much looking forward to this one. Velocity out on circuit there, just like in Spain there. He is out there straight away, isn't he? In there like swimwear, Velocity is then, and he is now just getting his car prepared, ready for this pole position. He hasn't had a pole position yet. Velocity hasn't this season in the Williams then. Can he break his duct here tonight then? So we've got Energetics who's had a pole position before at ALR so far this season. Curly Red hasn't. He is nor has Farf has, I should say, in the Chinese Grand Prix. Brandon hasn't. This is Brandon having a fantastic drive today. Renpo hasn't either, nor has Mike, nor has Velocity, nor has Newman or Maz or the Gore either. So yeah, I gotta say, we potentially could have another new pole sitter here tonight as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. I gotta say, I love qualifying in bronze. Is brilliant, isn't it? Almost the highlight of the bronze session as well. I could say almost, because the races have been fantastic as well. And now Velocity then, of course, as I said, in his first race win last time out then, he's been very consistent, but last week it was domination, wasn't it? As he broke through the glass ceiling, Velocity has now. We'll find out then, as he is now coming across the line to start us up here in Monaco then. And of course, everyone wants to be on pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix, because that is the best place to start, isn't it? It is the best place to start on any circuit, but definitely in Monaco. And then now then his Velocity then is on his lap now. Lovely then, as we're on board with the T-cam of, oh, he's clipped the inside barrier there, and that is sent him out wide there. You got to be inch perfect around this street circuit, haven't you? Yellow flag in 3 then. It's one of the I think it's one of the Ferraris, I think. No, it's one of the Alfa Romeos there, who is just cruising by the looks at it. And unfortunately Velocity there, of course, clipped the inside of Casino Square. That shunted him on, that spat him to the outside of the circuit there. But I gotta say then, the wings are very very strong, aren't they? Really good stuff indeed then. But Velocity, that's going to lose him about a bit of time then, isn't it? And I think that there's more time in the pocket. I wonder if that helps and or hinders him in his second bite of the cherry. Maybe he might even have he might even have 3 runs in this qualifying session there, because the track is so short. Has he got enough tyres? So that is going to be a question. So we haven't talked much about tyres, have we? So far this session, which I got to say, I think you guys are very much relieved, aren't you, about less of the tyre track, more about the heroes, which are the drivers, aren't they? Velocity comes through the final turn then. Velocity is gone faster so far. Mike then is abandoned his lap and come into the pits then. Unfortunately then, Maz is also abandoned his lap as well, as he is come a cropper. Curly Red then is coming through then to the anti-nose corner as well then. He so far Velocity is the only one to set a time then. What about Curly Red? He goes second fast moment. He's 4 tenths of a second away from the championship leader then. He's got a bit of a cute one as the Gort was coming in the pits, and I'm not sure if it hindered Farf's time, but Farf is invalidated. It's time to have to go around again then. Same with Energetics as well. There's a lot of invalidations at the moment, isn't it? What about Renpo? Renpo is coming through to back there. Lovely, easy and precise there from Renpo. 52 in the second intermediate time then. Lovely stuff. She bunny hops over the curbs. Lovely stuff indeed then. Car 72 in the Haas then, coming through anti-nose then, and a lovely turning circle then. Let's see what she can do then as well then. Look at the top right. Is it enough? It's 10th, third fast run on a 10.8 then in the Haas. 2 tenths of a second away from her fellow countryman. Curly Red then. His Energetics is on the lap at the moment, and so is Farf. Farf is coming through Portier now then, and going into the famous Monaco tunnel. Love it indeed then. And as Gordo has asked there, as he hasn't quite heard the rules of qualifying yet there. As a goodness me there, as I'm absolutely ashamed of myself there. Of course, all new viewers there might not know what's going on in qualifying. Of course, we have a 3-part qualifying. Oh goodness me, as Farf is touching the outside to back there before coming through the swimming pool. Look at this fantastic commitment there. Oh, maybe too much commitment from Farf, as he is now, I think he might be coming in the pits here because he's lost end play. He has indeed then, as a Farf is slightly lighter than what he started this qualifying session on. And of course, I'll love to be slightly lighter if I start this qualifying session, but that is obviously not the case. I've been munching on Milky Bars for the past half an hour. Right, as Energetics saying coming over to the line, and let's see what he could do. It is pole position there for Energetics. He hasn't had pole position since Australia, and he is the man with the most pole positions in bronze history in this current field then, and he is currently on pole position once again. Energetics is that, and if he gets this pole position, this will be a 6th pole position of his career in bronze. A fantastic lap there for Energetics. But Hold Your Horse's Energetic Fancy has a massive deficit at the moment over Velocity in second. But of course, we haven't seen the best of Farf, Brandon, Mike, Newman, Maz, or the Gort. And we have also got Velocity, who lost a bit of time in the first intermediate split time as well. There is a lot of people gunning for Energetics. He's got a target on his back now. Mike is climbing up the hill as well, coming out of Sandoval then. And now he's dropping down into the Casino Square as well. And there is Casino Square. Now then, as he drops down the hill into Mirabeau. If anyone remembers the 2014 qualifying session, I hope we don't have anything similar to that there where Nico Rosberg outbraked himself, didn't he, and it kind of ended the qualifying session and really did well, made it a bit fiery, didn't it, in the old press conference room, didn't it, for the two Mercedes drivers. Mike coming out of the tunnel now as well, as he's coming down into the New Val chicane as well, breaking down into about 50 miles an hour as well before accelerating away then as Mike there, a very similar helmet there to Mika Hakkinen, of course a McLaren legend there, the double world champion for McLaren of 98 and 99, and bear in mind, didn't get his first race win, did he, till Jerez of 97. He was gifted that race win, but nevertheless it really gave him a launch pad, didn't it, and he really was unstoppable in 98 onwards, wasn't he? Goodness me. And he was definitely called the Flying Finn for a reason. Mike is the Flying McLaren at the moment. He is in second position so far. Lovely stuff. Gore is invalidated this time. Mazda on circuit mode. Newman is invalidated this time. What ball? But Brandon comes across the line. And he is starting his lap now. Okay then, so Brandon is starting his lap now then, so I was a bit too quick off the mark there. Well, Velocity is only 700s up in the first intermediate split time. I thought he'd be a bit quicker than that, because he seemed to have lost a huge amount of time there, but perhaps there I just misread it there, which is very possible indeed there. Maz there is it looks like he is a bit light on the old front wing as well. He's got a piece missing, hasn't he? That's going to really hurt his understeer. He is currently 11, third fastest moment there. He's done an 11-1 there. Velocity there with some velocity as he comes through the swimming pool section as well. In the moment, he is only just about breaking into the 09 set. He needs to be well in the 09s if he wants to get pole position here tonight, which Energetics is very much sitting on top of his perch there. And that's a cracking intermediate free split time for half a second he found. Wow, that's put me in my place. I'm looking forward to this, and this is going to be fantastic. Brandon's invalidated his second run as well. Newman is on track mode. Farf is invalidated this time, but he's on an outlap. We've also got Maz, who's 2 seconds off the pace well, so we're going to keep an eye on what Newman could do then. He is definitely a new man on the block, isn't he? Oh goodness me there, he is well, I gotta say that's the quickest way through the New Val chicane, but unfortunately it's not legal, so I think he'll be coming back in the pits in just a jiffy as well. Brandon now starting his lap as well as he is powering up the hill as well. Excuse me, I've got an itch on my head. Lovely. And now then, as we're coming into Casino Square then for the Ferrari car 22, I think it is there, and now coming down into Mirabeau as well then. An 18.5 there for the first split time. It's looking good there for the Ferrari driver. Of course, it's a fantastic qualifying session from Brandon. Remember, this is his first time he's driving the Ferrari for real, isn't he? And he's very much impressed with me, isn't he? I've got to say, I'm becoming a believer of Brandon. He's had a fantastic race, qualifying session so far, isn't he? And we're on board with him coming through the tunnel now as well, and emerging into the light there before breaking down to the New Val chicane and dropping down to about 50 miles an hour. It's 44, I think, was where the speedometer finished there. Now into the back as well then. This is a part of the course where you can really hit the barriers quite heavily as well. Ralf Schumacher did that in 2005 for the Toyota team, didn't he? He hit the inside curve, he hit the inside wall there, and he absolutely could put it, didn't he? Brandon is in the pits there, so he's not happy at that time at all. He's abandoned. Rembo is invalidated her time as well. She's going to go around again then. Farf is back in the pits as well, and the Gort is out on track at the moment. And just as we're now just coming on board is Gordo saying he's slow there. I don't think you're slow, Gordo. I think that I'm a lot slower. I am definitely I'm a lot slower in terms of my brain capacity anyway. And now as we're coming out of Sandoval, and we're powering up the hill then as well. And I think Gordo is saying he was slow in terms of he hasn't seen the heard the rules yet. Yes, I haven't actually said the rules. So, oh, the Gort is in the wall. That's end plate damage there from the Haas fast driver as well. And goodness gracious me, that the Gore is not going to be too happy with that. He's going to have to come back in the pits. Has he got enough time there? As we've got a noisy scrambler outside as well. I think that's the wrong sport, my good man. We got Curly Red there coming into the tunnel. 6400 a second up at the world there as he flies past me. Fantastic pace there from the Racing Point. He's currently full fast again, Curly Red is. He's on some fighting form, isn't he, in the Racing Point. Listen to the last couple of races he's had there. Curly Red is he had a very good race in Spain as well. He had 5th position. I think the Netherlands there, he should have had a lot more there, shouldn't he? He was so quick in the Netherlands, in the Dutch Grand Prix, I should say. Unfortunately, he didn't get his just desserts, did he? Oh, advancing notes then, and let's see what he can do then. And now he comes over the line then, and Curly improves by half a second there, and goes still in 4th position at the moment as well. Gore is improved. Oh my goodness me, and that's with damage on the front wing as well. So the Gore in a fine 5th position at the moment now. Red Bull's on track there as she is 3,000 a second up in the first intermediate. Second intermediate. No, it is the first intermediate split time. I don't know where I'm on track. I think I'm in Monaco, I believe. 1600s in the second sector. Rembo is very much on the cusp there of the limit here of this Haas car as she comes now into Rascas as well then. Oh, she's got a bit wide there, just touching the outside Armco barrier there. Oh, getting a swapper on there as she comes over the line. Let's see what Rembo can do. She's in front of her teammate by a 10th of a second there, and I gotta say that was left all on track there. That was a cracking lap there from Rembo. I really enjoyed that one. It was good old fashioned there. Really giving it your all, wasn't it, kind of thing. As Mike there is completely jumped that chicane now. I'm just taking a look to see who's on a quick lap. Oh, no, got to stay with Newman, who hasn't set a time yet, nor is Brandon, and nor has Farf either then. So all these guys have really got to start to get on it now, aren't they? Gordo saying he meant he's slow at driving then. I'm slow at both, unfortunately, there. So yeah, that's why I'm up here. But I'm not sure I'm up here for the second part, perhaps because they couldn't find anyone else. Newman there coming through the final part of the course then, and he is going to set a lap. He's not going to. That's not going to be his most competitive lap there from Newman, but I think that's just a banker. The Farfair very much on it, isn't it? Goodness me, that's very committed there through the swimming pool section as well. Time is finished, and here in Monaco, Energetic is going for his 2nd pole position of the season and his 6th of his career in bronze. What about Farf is on pole position there by 4/400ths of a second there from the Renault. That could be a 2nd pole position of his career. Goodness me, he pulled one out of his back pocket there, didn't he? Cracking stuff indeed. Mars is in the pits there, and that's a time abandoned there. And I think we've also got Rembo in the pits as well, and we've got a Ferrari of Brandon there who's coming through the final turn. Brandon's invalidated this time. He will finish in 10th position, unfortunately, for the Ferrari driver. Indeed, Velocity is in the pits then. What about Energetics then? Energetics was on pole position. Velocity has gone into the barrier. He's done he's emulated my hero, David Coulthard. Energetics is coming to the line. Energetics is on pole position there. 092. He's 4/10 of a second in front of Farf. What a time there from Energetics. Mike has gone full fastest there in the McLaren. And what about Newman? Newman there, who is invalidated this time again. He is 9 fast. He's on the 5th row of the grid. But what a battle royale around Monaco. Energetics has taken pole position for the 2nd time this season, for the 6th time of his career in bronze as well. He is the measuring stick of qualifying at the moment then, and a fantastic time indeed there from Energetics, and I think he'd be very happy then. And now, can he get his 2nd race win of the season? He won in China, didn't he? But it's going to be very difficult with Farflair right up his gearbox, isn't it? What a start there to what a start here then to the Monaco Grand Prix event here tonight. Energetics then has got pole position, and his 2nd pole position of the season then. He's had a bit of a rough start in a bronze this season for Energetics, hasn't he? As I feel that he was very much the favourite for bronze, but unfortunately he hasn't lived up to the billing. But there is a long way to go in this season. Remember, bronze only was 9 races last season. This season it is 22 races. It's 22 races long this time around then. Just to confirm then, Energetics on pole position by 4/10 of a second from Farf in 2nd. Velocity and Farf 700ths of a second separates them. Fantastic. Mike in 4th position there with Curly in 5th. Rembo in 6th, and with Gort 7th. Mars is in 8th. Newman in 9th, and Brandon unfortunately didn't set a time, but on his full debut for the Ferrari team, cracking stuff then in 10th position. And Bradfield is back in the session as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. As Becca has just, Rembo just said then, get a petition going for Energetics to go to gold gold then as well. I need to say there was some time left on the board as well there. Goodness me, Energetics is becoming a bit of a monster here tonight in Monaco. Goodness me. As we are now getting going there as well. Sam has said, Energetics, that was rapid. That was a cracking lap there from Energetics. Really good stuff indeed then. Right then, as we are now getting ready for the race as well. Carlos Alberto there, our friend on Facebook there, of course, they're giving us a good old peace sign and a fist bump as well. And I've given you one as well, but unfortunately you can't see my fist bump there. Is luckily enough for you guys, you can't see me. And I am not John Cena either. Right then, as we are now getting ready for the race itself, and the time is starting to tick down as the drivers are thinking about their strategy as well. Then here we go then. This is going to be a cracker of a race, I have a feeling. And don't go anywhere, guys. This is going to be a cracking lap indeed then. Right then, let's get ready to get racing in Monaco, shall we? This is a long old race, this is. It's a long old race there, so of course you've got to be steady, you've got to keep your head. It's going to get very feisty, it's going to get hot out there. And this is going to be a great one to be watching. And now we're on the formation lap then, so quickly, as we've got 20 cars out on the circuit then as well, and we've got a full debutant here tonight. We've got a completely new Ferrari team tonight as well. There's stories within stories here in Monaco tonight, isn't there? So there is a lot of things for people to prove. Energetics then, who is on pole position for the first time since the first race of the season in Australia. Can he get, now he's got a lot to prove, hasn't he? Can he get himself back in the championship fight? He is there or thereabouts, but he's slipping back. Can he get himself right in the thick of it? What about far from probably as a France already? There's a lot of people in the disqualified already from this formation lap. Goodness me! Oh, the back field's been disqualified, and well, okay, so that's good stuff indeed. Then, anyway, then yeah, we'll move on from that. Yeah, story within stories in this race as well, isn't it? And let's see what the Haas team could do as well. What about the McLaren team of Mike and Newman there? Very much up there as well. What can the full debutant of Gio can do in the AlphaTauri? And of course then we've got Ayrton, who's out of position in 17th position as well, and Forza, a former race winner in bronze, and in 16th position then. We've got 3 cars on the hard tyres. RDW on hard, Nunda on hard, and Forza on hard tyres. Soft tyres for Brandon, soft tyres for Mars, soft tyres for Rentbo, Curly, Mike, and Energetics. And is that gonna swing them in the correct direction of the race strategy? Well, we'll find out. Everyone else is on the medium compound tyres. Energetics, pole position. Farf, medium tyres alongside him on row 1. Velocity in 3rd position there with Mike in 4th. It looks like the top 4 in the championship are also the top 4 on the grid as well. Curly in 5th, then with Rentbo in 6th, then the Gore in 7th position, Maz in 8th position. Can he get some points on the board there? Newman in 9th position, Brandon in 10th position there. Good luck to Brandon. Camera Racer in 11th position there. Bradfield is in 13th position. Fran is in 12th position. 14th position there for RDW. Nunda in 15th, and 16th is Forza, Ayrton 17th, Gunnar is in 18th, Stereogram is 19th, and 20th is Gio. As you can tell, they're all on the grid already. They're very keen to get going. That is the view going down into Sandoval as well. Then we are waiting for those 5 sets of lights to come on, and we are waiting to get going as Bradfield has jumped right up there. Lovely stuff indeed there from Bradfield, and the lights are coming on. Then here we go then in Monaco. We have 4, we have 5, there's a pause, and we are racing here in Monaco, and it's a good start from Farfan, but it's an even better start from Energetics then, who keeps the lead. But Velocity who's up in the 2nd position. He's on force Farf on the outside. Farf has dropped down, he's having the pole inside. A terrible start from Farf, who has gone from 2nd to 4th then, as they come out of the Sandoval then, over the crest of the hill then, as we have started up. Oh goodness me, it's on foot. There was a bit of debris going on there. There's yellow flags in the background there, and it's all gone off here as Ayrton is down the back of the grid as well, and we've got Gio there as well, and there's debris there coming off of all kinds of cars then, and it's getting very squeezy as Gunnar, I should say, had a problem there in Mirabeau as well. Ayrton right down the back then. Yellow flags are still floating then, but Energetics is leading then. 2nd is Velocity. Mike's in for a position there. Brandon is dropped right down to the back of the grid then, and there is all kinds of shenanigans going on there at the hairpin there. Gunnar's got a 5-per-second penalty for causing a collision there, and Brandon's having real bad issues there, and Gio is out of the race then as well. And where is Gio gone? Oh, he's gone off. That's where Schumacher crashed in 1990 96 it was a very heavy rain conditions, wasn't it, back in Monaco in 96. Well, today it's a bit of sunshine, isn't it? Now that was a very messy start here in bronze in Monaco. A virtual safety car at the moment then, and they have to adhere to a delta on their steering wheel. They have to stay in the green, of course, then, and this is so that it neutralizes the race then, as we don't want anyone there to get any I just set the fast lap race. Don't want anyone to get an advance then as well. Then now then, as they come out of Sandoval as well, now powering up the hill there. Energetics leads second position. Velocity. He's moved up position, and Farf is on the pole start. He's down 2 positions, isn't he? In a fourth position. Now really just didn't get off well at all. Pit lane, as we've got a lot of pit drama. Then is into the pits comes Bradfield, and comes Guna and Ayrton as well. Then so a lot of guys in the pits already. Then we're hoping for a safety car later on in this race as well. Big mover. I think Stereogram was going to full positions up to 15th. Lovely stuff indeed then. Brandon dropping down 6 positions. He was in 10th position there. Not sure what with the Brandon there, but he seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when he was on board with him. Briefly in the Lowe's hairpin, on board with Newman at the moment there, as the Gore is dropped off the back of his teammate at the moment there, which is Rembo. So at the moment then, the soft shod tires then are doing alright. Maz has dropped down 2 positions as well. That's not what Maz wanted. Rembo is still in 6th position, and Curly Red in 5th position as well then, as the two Welsh drivers are going to go head to head, I think, in this race then, in the not too distant future. Energetics is trying to stretch his legs out in front. We're on board the McLaren, but Newman at the moment as well then, as Gio there looks like he's had an incident there with one of the Alfa Romeo drivers. I think it's Stereogram there, as Newman there is just having to had a bit of an issue there coming out of the final corner then, and really dropping back slightly as well then. So we're now settling into a pattern here in the Monaco Grand Prix. It's all about a rhythm around here. If you get into a rhythm and just really focus on the driving, then you will have a good result then as well. But of course you cannot get too mesmerised around Monaco, can you? Of course, because there is incidents around every turn around this street circuit, the most difficult track in the world of Formula 1, isn't it? Of course, I think out of all 22 tracks, I think this is the one that the drivers have probably been very concerned about as well, because this could be a very long race for a lot of drivers, especially if you're out of position as well. And Brandon, who started 10th on the grid then, he's going to have to really bide his time in the Ferrari, isn't he? As he is now down in 16th position as well then, as that's very disappointing as well then. Is Gio is quite disappointed in the old comment section as well. What shame of Gio on his debut, as he is out of the race then already then, as we're on lap 3 then, out of 39 as well. A second separates Jessica Velocity is hovering around second. That's a run off. That's already who's gone off at the new Val chicane, and he has just come back on the circuit as well. Has he got damage on that Renault? Just taking a quick look. No, he looks okay then, but he's just got to make sure that those tires are not overheating, are they? Velocity is setting up fastest up of the race at the moment, and Velocity is now really starting to home in on Energetics. We've only done 3 laps with those soft tires are already strong, haven't they? We have now got DRS also available as well, and this is going to get very hot and feisty, isn't it, here in Monaco? One retirement so far in this race. This has been a I've got to say, the start of the race was very messy indeed, but since then they've really calmed down nicely, albeit we're only on lap 4 at the moment as we're coming through Casino, I keep saying Casino Royale, Casino Square, and now dropping down into Mirabeau as well. Bradfield's Nightmare Week continues here in bronze, doesn't he? Of course, he's had issues with the setup, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Is what's gone on, and I think that we've had a problem there. I think it's Newman who's had some issues there in the McLaren, hasn't he? So he's just recovering from something, and he has got a lot of damage, I think, on that front wing, if I'm not very much mistaken there, and just coming out of the tunnel as well. Let's take a look. He has damage as well on that McLaren then, so Newman is in a major bit of trouble then, and that is going to be an out of sequence pit stop, which is not going to help him at all, is it, for Newman then, and he is going to be dropping right back in the field then as well. And that's what we was talking about there. These out of sequence pit stops really put you out of contention. Remember, I think it was Cookie was saying on that Sunday night, wasn't he? He didn't want to start on the soft tires just because he didn't want to be out of sync there and getting stuck behind traffic there, which really can hurt your race, can it? And I think that what the soft tire runners are going to start to be having that experience of later on in this race as well then. So interesting stuff indeed then. And so now we're coming up the hill as well. Red Bow is now feeling the pinch there from her teammate as well. Farf is giving Mike a good old pinch as well in the third position, and in the McLaren as we come to the Lowe's hairpin as well. It is possible to overtake down there. Just asked Adrian Sutil in 2013 in the Force India, they were called back then, weren't they? As he overtook Fernando Alonso of all people down there. He was on a cracking race, wasn't he? I'm sure he took Perez as well at one stage. I think that that was I quite enjoyed that race from Perez in Monaco that day. I got to say though, there's a lot of very ambitious manoeuvres there, but I thought it was a good race though from Perez there. But a lot of guys might disagree with me about that one. As we have got Cameron saying there, let's go Velocity. He is currently putting the squeeze at the moment, and as we got Camera Racers facing the wrong way into the new Val chicane there, and it looks like I think he must have gone too wide there and clipped the outside bar there, which spun him around there. And unfortunately for Camera, he has dropped out of the points there in the Red Bull as well then. And I think that this is going to be, oh goodness me, this is going to be a race of attrition, isn't it? It's going to be all about just keeping your nose clean, isn't it? And also keeping your head as well. And I think that is the major point of keeping your head. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep my head last when I raced around here once, as I crashed into someone, and I was a very naughty boy indeed. And as Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty in 17th position as well. Then RDW is in the pits area. He's going on to the medium tyres in the Renault. We're looking at his teammate at the moment, which is Farf, as we are into the Lowe's hairpin as well. Then before accelerating out, then dropping down into Portier at the moment. These corners are classic, aren't they? The top two are now 4 seconds in front of this battling duo here. As you can see, Mike is really strong for pace on those soft tyres. Then Energetics is also starting to fall into the clutches of Velocity as well. Then they're starting to spread out quite nicely at the moment, aren't they? I wonder if the two Haas drivers there are very close. I wonder if Rentbo might be thinking about letting the Gort by, as we've also got Maz, who is facing the wrong way, and that is Maz recovering. He has not damaged the car, Maz hasn't, so that is all good then, as he is just recovering now out of the new Val chicane, and he is down into 12th position now. The Gort is the Gort. Oh goodness me, then we've got some all kinds of fight going on here, and you and Gort squeezing each other, going through notes there. Oh, incredible stuff, Ben. And Newman, look at this. Newman is going to go on the outside there. Is the Gort going to have to yield? Oh my goodness, he's getting very tight. Oh goodness gracious me, then as they come up the hill then. And the Gort there. Oh gosh, there. How in the earth did those two not go into the bar there is beyond me. Incredible stuff here in bronze tonight. And goodness me, then that was getting very fraught, wasn't it? RDW is now past Stereogram. Stereogram dropping down to a 15th position then. But Stereogram just needs to keep his head, doesn't he? It is virtual safety car. Well, we've got a virtual safety car. What is occurring? There's a wingless Alpha Tauri. That is Bradfield then, and he is having a bit of a nightmare race, isn't he? In the Alpha Tauri, unfortunately. Then. And I think that's what the virtual safety car is for. I can't see anyone else who stopped on the track. Just having a look at the old circuit map, and Bradfield has retired from the race there, and he has gone into the I think we've had a couple of crashes over the years, haven't we? I think at Simtech struggled to spin his car around, didn't he, one year in '95? I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was Sciattarella in his final race there for Formula One, wasn't it? For Sciattarella, as unfortunately that is the last memory I have of Sciattarella trying to spin his Simtech around. And look at that, then it's a Stereogram is just coming to pits and come out now, and he is letting his teammate through then, as his teammate is now. Oh goodness me, then his Stereogram is very much all over the back of him, and now is. We've got a yellow flag in two. We've got a yellow flag in two. What's up is Gunnar is recovering. Farf is in the pits then. Farf is in the pits. What is going on here? Well, he's coming out of the pits now. I wonder if he's had to change the nose cone there. So I wonder if Farf has had damage there. I know that is a big blow there to the man who's second in the World Championship as well. Maz is also in the pits as well for the racing point, and they're changing the nose cone as well. He's going on to the hard tires. This is a long stint then for the racing point driver as well. There's a big old gap between 13th and 14th, which is Ayrton and Maz, and there's all going on at the moment there, isn't it? Back to the ball of the front then, and this is what it is. It is 6/10 of a second then. Energetics then is trying to extend this stint as much as he possibly can then, as a Zhao, I think, in the comments there. I'm not sure what that says then, but I'm sure you're happy nonetheless about watching the Monaco Grand Prix here in ALR then as well then. Yep, I do love your thoughts and opinions. Keep them all coming in, guys, here, as our chat box is always open. And Newman again there is I'm not sure he's come a cropper, but he's lost both end plates now, and but that McLaren there is very much limping on now, isn't it? And I think he might have to Martu coming to the pits as well. Oh, goodness me, then Renbo is now a bit of a queue now. She's a cork in the bottle, isn't she? With and into the pits there comes Curdy, and Newman's in the pits as well. But Renbo's having the fourth position there, and she is not letting her teammate behind, letting her teammate go at the moment. Now we've got yellow flags there as figures. As Mike had a problem there. Just taking a look then, just down on Mike. Then he looks okay at the moment now, and Renbo there is very struggling, isn't she? Struggling very much, isn't she? It's almost up to 10 seconds there as they come down into Mirabelle, and this is hurting the Gore and Fran as well then. Of course, so that of course there is up to the driver in front. It's their prerogative, isn't it? As we are racing, isn't it? That is the whole point of ALR, isn't it? It's called Racing League, or League Racing, I should say. But anyway, that the major part is racing, isn't it? Renbo has got real poor traction, and oh my goodness, they're going side by side into the tunnel. This isn't going to end well, is it? Is it? Let's take a look then. And yes, the Gore is up into. Oh, Renbo's got a look on the inside. The Gore slams the door shut then, and now Renbo is very much on her back foot there, and those tyres are gone, aren't they? I think on Renbo's car she might have to come into the pits there. Into the pits comes Velocity. Velocity is in the pits there. Now that's a big surprise. I wonder if he's going for the undercut here. Interesting stuff then. There is it's a completely different race, isn't it, till last night then. And now I think that Renbo, I think she's got a lot of damage, and Bradfield is out of the race, left the session as well. Forza has under the radar, it's got up into 6th position. Fantastic stuff there. A wise head on young shoulders, Forza is, isn't he? And he's up in the 5th position there. Dropped out of qualifying 1, but that doesn't make no difference, does it? Brilliant stuff indeed then. Yellow flag in front of us then, as one of the Red Bulls, I think, was having a couple of issues as well. Gunnar, who is in 18th position as well then, so we've got a lot of pit activity as well, as Renbo is in and out now, and she is coming out in 9th position, I think. Well, Nunda is in 10th position, but there's also Newman there, all on the back of Nunda, as the two similar names are close to each other. Now this is always going to be my nightmare, as I struggle to say my name, let alone anyone else's name. It quick Velocity, and talking of Velocity, he's out in 7th position. I'm wondering why Velocity came in the pits then. Is it for the undercut? That's a very big gamble if it is then. Camera Racers come out of the pits there in the Red Bull, and look at Newman, Newman's got up the inside to Mirabelle, clean as a whistle, and that's a cracking maneuver there from Newman. And he is now up next is Curly Red there, who is also coming to the pits quite early on as well, as we have got a car. Who is it? It's a Gunnar, is it? I think I keep seeing a Red Bull and a yellow flag there. I'm hoping that I'm not giving Gunnar a bad name here, so it might not be Gunnar, but I just keep seeing a dark blue dot there, having a couple of issues there in the Red Bull then. So we're back on board there with Renbo. She is now on the exhaust pipe then, on the rear wing of Nunda at the moment there, who's in 10th position now, navigating his way nicely back through the field as well. Now what about Farf is all over the back of Forza. Forza's then 10 laps on those hard tires. Farf has had to make an early pit stop, we feel, and I wonder if that's damaged, isn't it? And of course Velocity is now behind Farf as well, isn't it? So the undercut is massive around here, isn't it? But of course the only problem with that is this: you're going to get stuck behind traffic, aren't you? And so Farf has got to keep his head there. He's already made an early stop. He doesn't want to make any more early stops at this stage of proceedings, does he? Fran in 4th position, and Fran doing a cracking job there on the same strategy as the Gore at the moment, and the Gore is in 3rd position there. And now Farf is going, and Farf is trying to go on the outside then, and look at this, and his Forza's not giving up though, is it? Farf is now right underneath the rear wing of Forza. He goes up the inside, passes the Farf is in the wall. Farf is in the wall there, and and the move was done, but unfortunately the move was done. The move was done, but Farf clipped the inside barrier of the new Val chicane, and because of that he is spun, and he's got to do that work all over again. And now Velocity is going to be very interested now, isn't he? And Mike is in the pits there in the McLaren, and he's in and out then. Where's that going to pull him? McLaren are quite well, they're near the end of the pit lane, aren't they? Energetics has come out in 2nd position. It is all working very nicely for Energetics. Now there's Farf, and there's Velocity as well, but they've come to the pits relatively early, haven't they? And that's why they're in front of Mike at the moment there. So Mike is just running his own race at the moment then. Forza up into a fantastic 4th, fantastic stuff, and Fran up into 3rd. Lovely stuff indeed there from the men who was out of qualifying 2 and 1 respectively. Lovely stuff then. And now then we're back on board with Farfen, who had the job done this time on the last lap at the new Val chicane, but unfortunately he spun, didn't he, and they hit the inside barrier there of the new Val chicane. And we've got now a four-car train starting to develop, haven't we? And Forza there, of course, has kept his nose clean so far. Remember, a former race winner in bronze back in at the British Grand Prix of round 5 last season. Farfar giving that inside barrier a very much a wide berth this time. And but of course, he was nowhere near an overtake just yet. They're on at Forza at the moment, but he's on the soft tires. Hard tires for Velocity, medium tires for Mike then. Interesting stuff then. So Mike is going for a two-stop strategy at this stage then. Energetics is as well. He's done medium tires as well. Farfar's all over the gearbox of that Ferrari once again then. And of course, it's going to make that car as wide as possible. Farfar's trying to go up the inside there into anti-notes then. Oh, and he's getting a bit squirrely on the rear wing as well. As they come through the complete lap for 12 of this Monaco Grand Prix. Out of the pits, there comes Brandon. Yellow flag in 2 as one of the Williamses there just recovering now. Out of the New Val chicane, that Ferrari's come out straight in the middle of this battling quartet then. I think it's a quartet, isn't it? Yeah, it's the battling foursome then. No, that's easier, isn't it? I don't usually do big words. And coming down then into Mirabel as well. Now Velocity is also getting interest as well. Bad use for Brandon there because Brandon's on the soft medium tires then, and he really wanted to make hay then. He's got a 43 second deficit over himself and Ayrton. Ayrton is currently in 14th position now, keeping his nose clean there in the Mercedes, and he's got a pit stop in hand as well. Yellow flag is there is one of them. So just say that then is these yellow flags are coming and going quite quickly. Farfar's on the outside now. Farfar's on the outside as Forza's not giving an inch, so is he? And look at that, great defending there from Forza, making the car as wide as possible in that Ferrari. Brilliant stuff indeed then from Forza. And Farfar is losing time in now, 5 seconds behind Fran at the moment, and Fran is 4 seconds away from Energetics, who is gaining on the Gort there. The Gort there is on medium tires, so he hasn't come in the pitch yet, the Gort hasn't. He is sticking to his race strategy, isn't he, the Gort is? He doesn't want to get out in this traffic there, because this is what happens. Farf climbing over that curve there of anti-notes, and DRS available. It's not usually the most effective DRS in this race as well, as Mike is having a look on the inside of Velocity as well. And 3 of these 4 cars are championship rivals. That's Debris come off the back of someone. I think that was Debris off the back of one of the cars then. Who was it? As I'm just saying, look, it's taking it was Mike. Mike has got Debris on the McLaren. Sorry, he's lost Debris on the McLaren, hasn't he? And that is a big blow there from Mike. Farf hitting the inside shoulder of the barrier again then. And Newman and Vaz. He's coming in the pits. I thought they were very close there. And swapping positions then. And Mike, that's a shame there for Mike, isn't it? Damaging the car. That's really going to hurt his race progress at the moment, because he's on a cracking race up to this point, isn't he, Mike? Lovely stuff indeed then. As they come through the famous Monaco Tunnel, they're coming down the hill. Then Mike then is just a bit whisker too far away at the moment. And Forza is really starting to bunch these guys up there now. So I said 3 of the 4 championship rivals are in this battle at the moment. And Energetics is loving life at the moment. Now he's in 2nd position now, and he's got a bit of air as well, as it is the Gort as well. I think the yellow flag said, I think it's for cars being lapped then, isn't it? So very much so good stuff indeed then from the back marks. They're doing a very nice job there, aren't they? This is a much better attempt there from Farfar, but Forza is very quick there on the straight coming down to Sandoval there, and Farf is now they're 6 seconds behind Fran then, isn't it? They've lost another 2 seconds in the last 2 laps then. In the background is Curry. There is the racing point then, and this is going to Curry is going to get very happy with this. Forza struggling there with the understeer on that Ferrari, but he's going to go a long way into this race, isn't he? Because of course I'm wondering if Forza's thinking of a one-stopper here, going onto the hard tires, going onto around lap 20 or beyond, and then going onto the medium tires, or is he going to try and go onto those soft tires? And if that is the case, and talking of soft tires, Farf is on the soft tires, and he wanted to make hay on this second stint there, and that is really not happening, is it? This is really not happening, because he can't get by Forza at the moment. There is now Farf lining up Forza again. Is he going to go for a lunge there? No, he isn't there. Of course, he's going to be really regretting that mistake there out the New Val chicane there, as he clipped the inside barrier, and because of that that's really cost him, hasn't it? Because he would have been by Forza if it wasn't for that mistake. And then look at this, and they fly through the the swimming pool. These cars, humongous, isn't it? Incredible stuff indeed then. And as they now then come up the hill as well then, and brilliant stuff out of Sandoval as well. Sorry, I got distracted then, as one of the streams was lagging a bit, which is a bit worrying. As now then we're coming into Casino Square as well, before dropping down then into into Mirabeau as well, and Farfar still 5 tenths of a second away, and Fran's gap is now going up to 7 seconds as well. Now this is a huge amount of time to lose, isn't it? Energetic is not really ripping up the form book, is he, in terms of the pace there on that Alfa Romeo? I'm wondering if he is just there taking his time now. Doesn't want to be involved in any issues there with the Gort, does he? He knows that his main challengers at the moment are having some major issues there, and he is technically, I would say he's technically a pit stop in front there of the Gort then, but that's possibly not the case then, because they might be on the same strategy coming to think about it, because if the Gort has got a pit as well, this is going to get very tasty indeed, isn't it, for the remainder of this race. And Favre is going to go on the inside. Favre is on the inside. Oh my goodness me, Goodness out of the race, and Ford has been nudged into the bar there from Favre, and oh goodness me, a virtual safety car. Ford has got a 5-second penalty somehow. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for Ford. So he has damaged a lot of the Ferrari. As a Farfar, oh goodness me, then he tried to go up and Anthony knows, and Gunar's left the session. He is out of the race there, and he has gone off in the same place as where Gio went off, and also where Schumacher went off in 96 as well. Oh dear, that is not good at all, is it? So Favre has damaged the wing as well, and Favre got a bit frustrated, didn't he? And nerfed Forza into the wall. Well, I think that's my opinion anyway, but I might be wrong now, and normally I'm wrong. Into the pits there comes Rentbo and Camaro racer as well. Newman is also in the pits there for the McLaren. He is out in front, I think, of Maz, and he's got a half a minute deficit, half a minute there of a gap there, so I'm wondering, let's see what he can do from there. Going back to my point a minute ago, yes, I think I've been misreading this wrong, haven't I, guys? Goodness me, I am talking absolute rubbish then, because Energetics might be taking it easy, but potentially the Gore and him are now going to have to stop at the exact amount of time, so that is one stop, isn't it? Of course, so because the Gore is going to be probably going onto the hard tyres, and look at the velocity there is Farfar slamming the door shut. He's into the pits, and velocity has damaged the end plate as well, so we've got a lot of damaged cars in this stage of proceedings as they come over the grid hatches as well then. And they're starting another lap then, and now then Mike then is having a look then, but for velocity there is keeping himself just in front of the road as well. Incredible stuff then, as we're just saying, camera race to say we believe in Maz, and Maz is currently in 10th position of the road then as well, as I think that now then we're just back on board there with Mike at the moment, yellow flag in 2 down, because we got one of the Haas drivers who is off the circuit, and Rentbo has had an issue down the New Val chicane in 12th position at the moment, and now where's Farf is coming out of the pits now in 8th position there, and is he going to get out in front of Maz? And Maz is in 9th position because Favre is in front. Stereogram is out of the race as well. I think that he is retired in the pits, has he? He has indeed then. So Stereogram is unfortunately out then. Ayrton has changed onto those medium tyres then. And let's see if he can get to the end on that then. That's just slightly shy then. Into the pits, there comes the Gort then. Energetics is retaking the lead. This is interesting stuff from the Gort now. He is on the hard tyres then, and if he doesn't make a mistake, he is going to the end of the race then. On the hard tyres then. If I'm not very much mistaken then, he is changing those tyres. There he goes. He's on the hard tyres, and Stereogram out of the race. We're down to 16 cars then. Where is he going to come out? And the Gort, of course, Haas is up very much on the end of the pit straight, and this is a cracking race from the Gort, isn't it? He is in 3rd position now. He potentially could be on course there for a race winner. Look at this, velocity, and Mike on the outside. Mike is going to switch on the inside. A fantastic manoeuvre. He is up in the 4th position. Mike is very nicely done indeed from Mike there. That was textbook, wasn't it? No, I got to say that equals Emerson's manoeuvre in the gold race, wasn't it? Because that was cracking, wasn't it? How he just really good stuff indeed there. Put velocity exactly where he wants them. Curly Red coming out of the pits in the 2nd racing point as well then. And the 1st racing point is just coming across the line now, and Forza is also past in 9th position. Forza can still get some points from here on in, but this would have been a very good day for Forza to get some major points. Rembo just outside the points in 11th position as well then. Gunnar is has had a difficult race then, but it sounds of it, as he was saying in the comments there. And now the Gort is on the hard tyres. He needs to, those tyres will be up to temperature already, unlike Formula 2 where they have to get those tyres up to temperature, don't they? Formula 1 boys are very got to say, they have a lot of things. They're blessed, don't they? Into the pits comes up Fran as well. Fran has had a cracking race, doesn't he, in the Mercedes then. Let's see where Fran comes out. Fran's also going to be very much within the top 10 as well. I think he'll be out in 5th position if I'm not very much mistaken. Forward it's got by Maz, hasn't he? As I've just taken a look then, and there he is, and there's Maz there, is getting out of the way, I think, of everyone. He's had an issue there, by the looks. Fran is coming out of the pits now as well, and there's Brandon there. It looks like he's ghosting it, so Brandon might not even be in the race. And Fran out in a fantastic 5th position, and Fran is having an inspired race. Mike is having an inspired race, right? He's got damage on the McLaren, but he is having a cracking race out there. And Brandon then, of course, they're 18 seconds behind Energetics at the moment, and Energetics might be needing to get on with this at the moment now. I don't think those medium tires are going to get to the end then, are they? So he might be on a 2-stopper here, and let's see what he can do from here on in then. But of course he needs to pit again, and he hasn't got the pit advantage at the moment. This is going to get very, very intense indeed, isn't it? And now Mike there just hugging the hard shoulder there of the tunnel. Lap 20 out of 39 then. We've got about 20 laps to go in this race then. There's a Mike there almost brushing the inside barrier there as he comes out of the Nouvelle chicane then. And now then coming through the swimming pool section as well then. And it's got to say, it's looking very calm at the moment in this race, isn't it? As I said, and we've had 4 retirements so far. Stereogram out of the race. Gunnar, who just said he had a shock over race in the Red Bull. We've also had Bradfield, who had issues with the car, so the car handling issues. And Gio got into some trouble there at the start of the race as well then. This is the closest battle on track, if I'm not very much mistaken. It is indeed then. And it is Mike, and it is the Gort then. But the Gort, I think, has now found his feet then on these hard tires then. And let's see then what he can do then. Is he going to reel in Energetics? And of course I think the Gort should be able to get to the end from this, but this is a fantastic race at the moment, and his Energetics is just commented with number 1. No, 1 stop. So Energetics, I think, just paused the game there just to say that he's on 1 stop, I think, then. So Energetics then might be on 1 stop then. I thought he was going to be on 2 from here on in, but no, Energetics then is going to be on 1 stop then. So interesting stuff then. I'm loving this race, and this is cracking, isn't it? So I think that is so that is going to be information that the Gort is going to have to really get on it, isn't it? And now is Renbo is coming back in the pits in the second half then. We've got a Renault there of RDW just coming out in front. Oh goodness me, I was getting very nip and tuck between RDW and Renbo, wasn't it? And into the pits comes the Haas driver going onto the medium tyres again then. And let's see what she can do from there. She's down in 13th position now. Renbo is a bit of a difficult old race, isn't it? From the Haas driver as well. Back on board with Mike then as well. And so then at the moment, Energetics, if he's not stopping again, then it might be a double bluff. And Renbo comes out of the pits there, and she is down in currently in 13th position as well. Mike there in 3rd position now, once again showing that he is very much the man to be, isn't he, at the moment now, and really keeping his nose clean. And that is exactly how you win championships, isn't it? By just being there where you need to be, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed then. As Brandon saying he lagged out on the formation lap. Oh, what a shame there for Brandon, which is why he was dropping like a stone. Otherwise Brandon would very much have been a big factor in this race, well, because he had a lot of pace in the qualifying, didn't he? And he's on to Baku in the second second race as well. As Sam is saying it, he's on about Mike. Then I got to say, I was actually on about Energetics, because I thought the medium tires weren't going to get to the end from there, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. So do not listen to me then. But that is just my hazard guess kind of thing. And now then is Gort is it's Mike there. I thought he wrong footed himself going into Tabak there, as you can see. Gort there losing a lot of time there as Renbo is just unlapping herself in. Of course, which you can do in the rules there, of course, there. If you are the quicker car, you can unlap yourself if it's safe to do so. I'm not like Esteban Ocon, who seemed to have a wild lunge into turn 2 of the centre rest there as well. At the Brazilian Grand Prix, on the inside of Max Verstappen, as you got yellow flags fluttering out there, as down at the Lowe's hairpin as well. Of course, what goes around comes around kind of thing, isn't it? Because I think in 2001, Jos Verstappen took out Montoya, didn't he, from the lead in 2001 in Brazil. So I suppose it's funny how these things play out, isn't it? Back on board with Mike at the moment, and he's the star of the stream, isn't he? Got to say, we've been watching Mike for a lot of times in this stream. Let's take stock, shall we? As we're on we are now on lap 23 as well. Is as Gunnar saying it's a far better race than to drive in, as Sam has also told me to shush as well, as I think there's Energetics. I was quite surprised Energetics was commenting on this as well now, but he seems to have this all neatly into place at the moment. Energetics, and he was going for a second race win in China. He won the race, didn't he? Of course, on an alternative strategy here tonight, and he is very much looking very strong now with the Gort in second position, and this is the Gort's best, this is the Gort's most strongest performance of the season so far, isn't it? Of course, he did finish second, though, in Bahrain, if I'm not very much mistaken. He did indeed there. He did finish second in Bahrain. That's his only points finish of the season so far for the Gore. Maz is into the pits as well in the racing points. He's coming out of the pits now, down in 13th position. There only 16 cars remain in this race in this race at the moment then, as they come up the hill again then. I'm wondering, though, if Energetics does have a pit stop window. I wonder if he might just come in the pits and have a safety stop then, kind of thing. He hasn't got the pit window just yet, of course, so, albeit that is a massive oh, is RDB there is I think he was just giving some donuts there to the fans there, and just really there ripping up the tarmac there in that Renault there, as he was on a couple of issues down to the Lowe's hairpin. So let's take stock. We're on 24 out of 39 here in the Monaco Grand Prix, and I gotta say, it's very much been a race that's really shook things up, hasn't it? Energetics from pole position is still leading this race at the moment now. It is the Gore who's up 5 positions now on a cracking race there. Mike up a position there. Velocity has dropped down a position from his starting grid then. Fran up 7 positions. He's my driver of the day so far. Brilliant drive indeed there. Newman is up 3 positions. Favre down 5 then. He's having a difficult race today, isn't he? Ford's a brilliant race so far. Unfortunately, him and Favre come to blows there. Anti-Nogs, and because of that there, it caused both drivers to have damage there. But Ford's still up into 8th position nonetheless, and up 8 positions as well. Curly down 4 positions there, and Camaro is up 1 position. Ayrton up 6 as well, and Rembo down 6, and Brandon also down 5 positions as well then. So that is the state of play then in the Monaco Grand Prix at the moment. They fly up the hill again, and of course there is Mars in the background there, who is also of course being lapped then at this stage of proceedings as well then. So Energetics is now extending his lead, isn't he? I gotta say, he's got this race very much in the palm of his hand at the moment, hasn't he, Energetics? And I gotta say, this is the form which we were fearing at the start of the season from Energetics. He was definitely on terms of form, on paper, he was very much the favourite, wasn't he, going into this World Championship in bronze. But goodness me, the championship is not one on paper, is it? And of course, one man who's very much touted in the pre-season book of maybe being a championship contender is Mike, but Mike didn't take himself out of the equation, did he? He was feeling very confident, and this season he's been looking very good on the F1 2020 game, and he has again shown it here tonight, isn't he? Of course, with 2 race wins as well for Mike in Australia, and of course in the Dutch Grand Prix as well, and on course for another podium now. Mike, is lovely stuff indeed there. Fran is now under the real pressure from Newman. Then is Newman there, has got to say, has been kind of gaining on the Mercedes driver, hand over fist at this stage of proceedings then, and he is all over the back of the Mercedes then as we come into Rascas as well, the beautiful club area. And in the background was Farfar there is Farfar in the background now. We're going to have a 3-car battle here then. It's going to be a party, isn't it, in a minute? And let's see who has got those party modes on the go then. And they're coming up into Sandoval once again then, in the Mercedes and in the McLaren, and then we've got a Renault in the background as well, and great stuff to see. 3 different constructors there battling away here in the Monaco Grand Prix then. In terms of team and how it's going at the moment then, oh, it's the McLaren of Newman there, had a wrong foot it there in the Casino Square, and he's really put himself on the back foot at the moment, and Farf is very much put himself very much in contention there. Luckily for Newman, though, he hasn't damaged the car, has he? So he can carry on at will at the moment now. And who is Will? I don't know. Anyway, coming out of Portier as well then. So Fran there is Camaro is out of the race then. And where has he gone off? He's gone into the pits. He was in 10th position now, so that is unusual there for Camaro, and really well, that's a shame now. I'm not sure what's happened to Camaro Racer, but he is now not in the points, which means Ayrton has had a great drive in 10th position now. He hasn't made no mistakes, Ayrton hasn't, as far as we've seen on the live feed, have we? Great stuff indeed there, but that's a shame for Camaro Racer, who's on course for some points there in the Red Bull. And look at how tasty this is getting now. Fran is very much under the cosh, under the pressure, but this is best result of bronze so far. If he can stay here, we got 27 laps out of 39 to go. We are on the final countdown, the final part of this Monaco Grand Prix, and it's very difficult to overtake around here, but we've seen some fantastic moves over the last 3 days here in ALR. I know, look at this, there's Newman's going to go to the inside. Oh, goodness me then. And at the top of the hill, and Fran has gone very wide then. Oh, goodness me, it's going very different attack then. And they're coming down then into Rainbow. Farf is on the inside as well. This is, oh, goodness me, there's a squeeze, there's a sandwich. And it's now Newman Newman has somehow come behind that. Yellow flag is flushed again then, and it is it's on the Williams there. Newman getting out the way then, and Velocity is now up into 6th position as well then. Oh, it's a Williams there, so I didn't even see that. So Velocity is also past Newman as well. Newman has lost no, it's Velocity. Velocity is a drop right down the order, and there's me is and he's also spun it around as well, and Velocity is having a mare then. The championship leader is all going wrong for the Williams driver, and he is dropping down the order now, isn't he? Velocity is then, what a shame then, and he is down in 7th position then. Farf is now taking over the Mando with Fran now up in the 4th position now. He's having a cracking drive. He's loving these street circuits, isn't he? Fran is at the moment then in the Velocity then, right down the order then. He's on 17 lap hard tyres, and he is carrying on the moment then, the championship leader then. It's all about points for Velocity, isn't it? Farf is looking at Fran at the moment then. Farf, and he's gone into the back of Fran there, and oh goodness me, and the Farf has damaged the wing, and I think Fran might have damaged his wing as well in that little scrap there, as we haven't got a very good shot, have we? As RDW is now in the 14th position. We're down to 14 cars with Brandon out of the race, as we just confirmed. He lagged out earlier, and I think Fran then is got real problems there with the end plates. Now let's take a look then, and I think he's got both end plates. As he in the I've got to adjust my old specs, haven't I? Goodness me, age is catching up on me here tonight, and I really can't see that end plate. And a lovely over shoulder. I love these over shoulder shots, but I don't appreciate them at the moment. We need to see the wing there on the Mercedes, and don't we, to see what is going on. Oh, and look at that then, it's the McLaren going on the inside then, and that was a great manoeuvre there, and he's gone up the inside then and passing Fran. I think Fran has got damage, has he? He has indeed there, and that is not good at all, is it? So unfortunately Farf, I think, has got damage as well, and that's a second incident for Farf here tonight, having a bit of a difficult time now. Newman is now up in the 5th position then. Fran is in the pits. What a shame for Fran, he was on a cracking race there. Velocity is carrying on with damage to that end plate as well. Let's see where Fran comes out. He's changing the nose code. He's on the soft tires, Fran is there, and he's still on course then for a very good result then, and might be getting his first points of the season. And once again, Fran has shown in the last 2 races that he is very much got some very strong pace in that Mercedes. He just needs to get to the end then. Ayrton is just 45 seconds behind his teammate then, as he comes out of the pit now then. So Fran there down in 9th position, what could have been in that incredible 4th position there for Fran. Mike has now dropped right off the back there of the Gordon, so I'm not sure what's that. So Mike has dropped right off the back there. He's down to 4 seconds now, 24 seconds behind Energetics, and Energetics is just pacing himself. He's having a lot of fun out there at the moment, isn't he? In the Alfa Romeo there. Of course, Alfa Romeo got 1-2 in bronze, didn't they? In the Spanish Grand Prix. I think that's the only 1-2 in the bronze history so far. I think that we've had a couple of 1-2s actually in silver. I think that was the second time we ever had a 1-2 in silver last night. For the Haas team, we had a 1-2 with the Red Bull team. I think it was Beerus and the Glock, wasn't it? It's very rare occasions, isn't it? Of course, but I think it was the Alfa Romeo was set a trend of that last season at the Spanish Grand Prix round 2, of course, where New Potato there made his debut, didn't he? And he was fantastic from the get-go in the Bronze League, wasn't he? Now in silver, did not have a very good race last night, did he? But hopefully he can bounce back in Baku in a week's time as well. As we're now watching Newman, who's has had a very entertaining race, hasn't he? He's now in 5th position there. Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. Is that going to cost him that final points paying position, which Ayrton has battled his way from near the back up into 10th position? And lovely stuff from Ayrton in the Mercedes, and is good stuff indeed. And both Mercedes are going to scoring points as it stands at the moment, but it's the McLaren the team to be, and they're going to score the most points, I think, at the moment. They're coming down into the new chicane as well then, and you can see them coming out then as well. Level 17 Newman has got the pace in terms of the wing, because he's got all his wing in check. Then Farf has got a bit of damage there after it's coming together there with himself and Fran there into turn 1 then, and so it's a bit of a difficult race, hasn't it, for a lot of drivers out there tonight. The Gore has had an inspired drive, hasn't he, but he just can't keep up with Energetics at the moment now, as Energetics is dominating this race on the medium tyres. I've got to say, his pace is electric, isn't it? Incredible incredible stuff out there from Energetics at the moment. They're almost half a minute in front of the next car. It blew me away, because I thought we'd be on a two-stop strategy here. Really good stuff indeed, and he's almost in the window for a two-stopper, mind. So he might be able to have a second stop then. It's interesting stuff to see then as well, but he is going to do an awful amount of laps there on those medium tires, and of course I think it's pushing into territory which no one has been into territory before on those medium tires there in this week of racing in ALR. So it's going to be very much a learning curve then, isn't it, for Energetics there. He's done 20 laps on those tires as well. Mike has done 19 laps, almost 20 laps as well, and so Mike's on a similar strategy then to Energetics then. Fran has just set the fast out of the race there once again underline. He's got some pace there in that Mercedes that he is now less than 5. Oh, it's Morris Newman has caught the inside barrier there, and that's Newman there who was on the ascendancy there, on the ascendancy I should say there, and unfortunately he's going to have to do all that work all over again. He needs to make sure then that he doesn't do that. Oh no, he has done that. He's in the wall. He's in the wall. The tires overheated then, and of course that is oh goodness me, Newman. Of course the tires were overheated because of that spin there, the New File chicane, and Newman is out of the Monaco Grand Prix. What a shame. Now got another virtual safety car. That was, got to say, we're in the line of fire. That should have been probably a safety car, really, shouldn't it? I don't think anyone is going to take advantage of coming into the pits at this stage of proceedings, because I don't think there's any need for it, really, is there? And just taking a quick glimpse of the race leader at the moment. Is his Energetics, and my goodness me, what a race there. And he's really pulling time hand over fist. I know it's a virtual safety car, and I wonder if he's going to come in the pits, and he is coming in the pits there. He is taking advantage, and Energetics are coming in the pits, and he's got a safety window now, hasn't he? And he's coming in the pits there, and he's going to change those tires. He might even go in the soft tires and get the Grand Slam here, the pole position, fastest up, and the race win then. He is definitely going for it, and he's going to come out the pits now, and yeah, it's all falling into place for Energetics there. Good stuff indeed there. He's on the soft tires now until the end of the race then. Lovely stuff indeed there. So I think that we might need to be a bit concerned then about Mike in terms of his tyres now then, because Mike has done 20 laps then on these medium shod tyres. Of course, he's now going to be the man with the most lappage there on tyres in terms of durability and the softness of tyres. And he's done 21 laps now on those medium tyres, and of course Velocity has done 22 laps on the hard tyres. But we know the hard tyres will be safe at this stage of proceedings, so I'm not sure about the medium tyres. Are they going to get punctures or anything like that? This is and the track is not very stressful on those tyres there, is it? But of course something has got to give, hasn't it? And the question is, can Mike nurse those tyres to the very end then? He was giving the Gort some cause for concern, wasn't he, in the middle stage of proceedings as well. Fran is giving Curly Red a cause for concern, and Curly Red is also giving Forza a cause for concern as well. So 6th, 7th and 8th then are starting to bunch up then. Ayrton is now with the 9th position. Rembo is back in the top 10 as well. Manson, who hasn't scored a point yet this season, is just outside 11th position. We've got Nunda, who is currently in a 12th position there, and giving Maz also some worrying signs as well. And as we're on board then, of course, we was watching Mike then, and literally we have just gone back to 11th and 12th position. There's Mike then, who's just lapped these two cars, and they are battling away through to back as well then. And Nunda there is now causing Maz there all kinds of grief, and Maz there, who is on younger tyres than Nunda, but Maz is struggling for pace at this stage of proceedings as well, as it's got a yellow flag out there as Artie Wee is out of the race there, and it's the same position now. It is the same position there as the McLaren driver, and oh, that's a big smash. It's a it's a Rosberg kind of crash there. He's in the middle of the circuit. That has to be some kind of safety car or a virtual safety car, perhaps a virtual safety car at this stage of proceedings, but Artie Wee is out of the race, and we're down to 12 runners then in this race. Well, back race now, and I've got to say that was probably the we needed a safety car then, definitely, goodness me. Our race control probably on their tea break, haven't they? Fran is now less than a second behind Curly Red in the battle for 7th and 8th position as well. So we're going to go to that battle, because this battle has all the marbles in terms of points, doesn't it? 6 points for 7th position, 4 points for 8th position then. And Fran there has been inspiring, hasn't he, in the Dutch Grand Prix, and again here tonight as well. Fran has been brilliant. I've been singing his praises all through this race there. He probably deserved more as well. Unfortunately, he damaged his wing, hasn't he, through no fault of his own then. And as he comes into the low hairpin, Energetics to set the fast up the race, he's definitely very much on course there for the Grand Slam then, isn't he? The pole position fastest up, and pole position fast up, and the race win as well as he's extending the lead. Fran has got a 3-second penalty. That is not going to hurt him in terms of cars behind him, because Ayrton is almost half a minute behind, isn't he? I think It's all the field spread in Monaco, isn't it? Of course, you're on the power, one car's width behind the car in front then, which makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But that is why there's a lot of field spread in Monaco. And it's a big front there, just tapped the wall then. He hasn't damaged the end plate there, but that might knock him out of rhythm slightly there, because I feel that when you hit the wall, don't you feel that you start to tighten up a bit, and the more you tighten up, more you feel tense with the car. You do drive slow, don't you? And you make more mistakes, doesn't it? As Martin Brundle has always said, doesn't it? I think I remember him saying it back in Australia when he was talking about Heinz-Harald Frentzen in qualifying, when Frentzen was having a pretty difficult time against his teammate Jacques Villeneuve, because Jacques Villeneuve was walking away of qualifying, wasn't he? Yellow flag in two. It's Red Bull had an issue there, and she has damaged a lot of the end plate on that car, and she is going to be under attack now from Nunda and Mazen. Oh dear, Red Bull there, a couple laps away from perhaps getting some points here, but that might not be the case now. Is she going to stay out, or is she going to come in then? As Red Bull also getting a 3-second penalty as well then for the Haas team, as she is staying out, and I think that's probably the wise choice, really, isn't it? Because of course you want to stay out and really take the fight, don't you? Talking of taking the fight now, and this battle could potentially become for points now between Nunda and Mazda as well. Of course, keeping an eye on the Fran and Curly Red battle as well as they come over the line. Then is Mazda's got a lot of harvesting going on in that Force India. He's pulled one away, hasn't he? Back on board with Fran at the moment, and he is now in the dirty area. Curly Red there. He's got to make sure he catches any snap of oversteer in this Mercedes, doesn't he? And almost going into the back as well. There's a lot more concentration when you're behind the car, isn't it? As you're not driving on your own, so it's a lot more difficult, isn't it? With dirty air, and also making sure that you do not have any issues at all. Back on board with Fran then, as he's coming into Sandavot then as well, before powering up the hill then. Of course, tyres can be a factor, but in this race it's the hardest race to try to overtake, I would hazard a guess then. Well, I think so in terms of racetrack, it probably is, isn't it? Unless you guys have got anything different to say. Yeah. Oh, and he's going to be inside there in Mirabo, and I think it was Beloff that had an amazing manoeuvre around there in 84, didn't he? Of course, we was talking about the 84 Monaco Grand Prix last night, wasn't we? Where we were singing the praises of Ayrton Senna, but I think we should also sing the praises of Stefan Beloff as well, because I think Beloff was actually going quicker as, oh goodness me, then Renbo's lost the whole of the nose cone there, and she is going to have to come in the pits now. Renbo is out of that, out of the final points then, and Nunda is in the points there, and Maz there is now dropped down, and that exchange is out of the points again. Maz was so close to getting in the points there, but close, but no cigar then. No cigar. Back to this battle here with Fran and Curly Red then, and it was getting very dicey a minute ago, wasn't it? So we've got a battle for fast lap, isn't it? It's a very unique, isn't it, this fast lap right at the end there. It adds a new dimension, doesn't it, to the race as well, as Fran there's coming over the grid action as well, and brilliant stuff indeed. Then Emerson is just tuned into the race and wants to know how's it going there, as I think Ayrton's drove a very nice calm and clean race, hasn't he, in ninth position there. Very impressive stuff indeed there for Ayrton. Very impressive from Nunda as well, and Forza I think has been the outstanding driver of the day today. Brilliant stuff indeed then in terms of getting himself through the field. Energetic since the get-go, has been impressive, hasn't he? I thought he has been absolutely amazing from start to finish. The Gort was amazing as well, as Renbo was just trying to unlap herself as well, so of course that's very distracting, isn't it? But of course that is the unique feature of having ghosted on now if you're a lap behind, isn't it? Which does add the extra That does have the extra element there, doesn't it? And I think that this is her in front now, isn't it? As they come over into the sunshine as well, and down into the new Val chicane now. And I thought Fran was going into the bar there as well, as Fran there is dropping off the back there of Curly Red there. As Rembo has come out at the wrong place there. I think that's Rembo, isn't it? It is Rembo indeed there, because she's on new soft tyres there, and she wants to make hay there whilst those tyres are in good condition as well. We've rejoined the leader then. Energetics then. Now I've got to say, he has been impeccable, hasn't he? We've been talking about Forrest and his incredible drive today. We've talked about the Gort having an incredible drive as well, and very strong performance there from the Gort as well, and a good handful of points as well. Mike also in there where he needs to be as well, and 26 laps on those medium tires is absolutely incredible stint as well, isn't it? Velocity in 5th position there. You might be happy with that there. Of course, he did make a mistake earlier on the race. Forza on his return there didn't have the pace on one lap, did he? But goodness me, in the race he was fantastic. fantastic, and he probably would have got more, wouldn't he? Curly Red is in 7th position now with Fran in 8th position now. He's been the star of the race, hasn't he, Fran? Has Ayrton now in 9th position now. Ayrton is, of course, who started right down near the back of the field there, getting some good points there. Well, it looked quite difficult as well. Nunda also fishing the final point as well with Mans there. Not just a second off his first points of the season, perhaps, as well. Rembo in 12th position. And that is the final run as Brandon lagged out after he had a fantastic qualifying performance where he started 10th on the grid for the Ferrari driver. And potentially Brandon could have got some major points there. So that's a shame for Brandon. Newman is out of the race there. RDW out of the race. Camaro out of the race. Stereogram, Gunnar, Bradfield and Gio all retired then for the Monaco Grand Prix. And I've got to say, there's still 12 cars left in the race, which is very impressive indeed then. But more impressively is Energetics. He comes through the final turn, and Energetics wins his second race of the season. What a drive here in Monaco. He has got the Grand Slam, pole position, fastest lap, and the race win as well. Fantastic drive from Energetics. And I've got to say, that is a very scary performance there from Energetics then. Goodness me, the season favourite has really delivered here on the streets of Monaco. Used to be the old heroes of Formula 1. You say this was equivalent to half a championship. Well, Energetics is definitely shown that he potentially can be champion of this division. Gort coming through in 2nd position. Great drive from the Gort then as well. And he is in the end almost half a minute behind Energetics. That is a huge deficit in ALR. Massive deficit indeed then. Mike is coming through to finish in 3rd position, I should say. And what a drive from Mike there. 28 laps on those medium tires. It's absolutely fantastic. Favre had a bit of a scrappy race in 9th position now. In 4th position there in the Renault. I'm just working the position up as I go along. Velocity also had a scrappy race as well, but Velocity is in 5th position at the moment. Forza, what a comeback drive from Forza, and he could improve his position. Not quite, he was a bit too far behind. Curly Red in 7th position as Fran has really dropped off the back, but he will finish 8th then in the end. 9th position is Ayrton. Nunda completes the top 10. Mars in 11th, and Rembo is the final classification, as the final finisher or final classification in 12th position as well. But the day belongs to this man. Not that Marshall. This man here, there he is, Energetics, who wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Forza against driver of the day, and I gotta say, you can't argue with that. What a comeback drive from Forza. Brilliant stuff indeed then from Forza. That's very impressive stuff from Forza, wasn't it, in the end? And there he is, our Energetics doing the dancing step on his second race win in the last 3 races, and he is the man on form at the moment then here in bronze. And good stuff indeed then. The Gort in 2nd position is only 2nd time he scored points this season, but that's his second of the season. And Mike once again then on the podium here of season 2 then. Mike is really racking up those podiums. Listen, that's his third podium in 7 races. Really impressive stuff then from Mike as well, and that consistency is very much keeping him in the championship hunt then. So there it is, the Grand Slam pole position, fastest up, and also the race win as well from Energetics there. Impressive stuff indeed, and he didn't get a penalty either, so that just makes that even more impressive. The only finisher not to get a penalty. Wow. Gore in 2nd position in the end from 7th to 2nd. That's a great drive. Mike in 3rd position. Lovely stint there from Mike there. For 4th position was far from after a very messy race. Same with Velocity in 5th position as well. Forza from 16th to 6th. A great drive from Forza on his comeback drive. Impressive. 7th was Curly Red. 8th position was Fran. 9th position was Ayrton. And 10th position was Nunda. Outside the points, Mars there just hasn't got any points yet. And Renbo in 12th position. Brandon, Newman, RDW, Camaro, Stereogram, Gunnar, Bradfield and Gio all retired from the Monaco Grand Prix. And now I am joined in the gantry there by the man who absolutely smashed the race here today. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. Energetics, your second race win of the season here tonight. And I've got to say, you was in a league of your own tonight. That was incredible.
Yeah, the first few laps I had some Williams, Velocity was behind. So I thought after the first virtual safety car, I thought I hit him. Because he was dropping back like 3 seconds a lap. So I thought maybe I did something wrong about it. I was a little bit worried. And then I thought just keep to my strategy soft medium. I was on 30% laps or 30% of mediums at the time I pitted. So they could have gone longer. don't know how. I just thought like keeping out of the walls, staying behind the Gord at the moment because I knew he should have pitted still, and then still just did my own race and tried to listen to your commentate at the same time.
That's what you told me, that you was on a one-stopper.
Yeah, I was a little bit annoyed that you say, yeah, maybe he's gonna bid again. He's gonna bid again. But no, I wanna do it one stop. But well, then I was like a lot of time ahead. And I thought, okay, maybe I should do it.
Well, I gotta say, that was a mind-blowing performance then, because I thought the medium tires would not have lasted then. So, gotta say, you was twinkle toes out there to say, brilliant stuff indeed then. So, yeah, moving on to Baku then, feeling strong for the next race.
Well, in my team, it went all really good. I won my first race there, so I hope I have a good setup and I'm doing good there. Yeah, I really like to be there.
Really good stuff. Well done, Energetics. An amazing drive today. The Grand Slam. Really well done indeed. Then I think I don't think the Gorters joined us in the commentary box, and so we'll go straight to Mike in third position. Mike, you're talking to me again. Then it's becoming a bit of a bad habit, me and you meeting here. Your third podium here in 7 races, then, and once again, keeping your nose clean there. It seems to be your MO in this season.
My nose was not clean. I was running with orange front left wing damage from about lap 14, and I was just constantly trying to keep updated with the guys around me, and hearing and having information relayed to me that various collisions had happened and what have you. It was just about preserving the mediums on the one stop. The tyres were okay, it was just, as I say, the front wing. But no, massive congratulations to yourself, Energetics. A fantastic drive, mate. 47 seconds or something it was in front of me. So you obliterated it, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, very nice here at the podium as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. I don't think the Gorters joining us as well then. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go on to round 8 then of gold, silver and bronze, and we are going to Baku. I think it's the land of fire, isn't it? Or is it the land of wind? I'm not sure. I need to Google that and find out. But anyway, it's round 8 nevertheless, isn't it? And gold will be back at 6:30 UK time. Eat the cookie at the moment is dominating, isn't he? Dan Murphy in silver has been finally put pillars at bay then after a difficult couple of races then. And here in bronze, Energetics announced himself onto the big stage as well with an incredible drive tonight. See you in a couple of days' time. We'll be back for more from ALR.